It is the Europa League Conference Playoff first leg. Welcome back to the West Ham Network. I am Anton. Please keep your comments coming in throughout for your Match Day Live, the first European game in front of 30,000 fans. I think there might be a couple of extra if people turn up on the day. I reckon they're going to be selling them on the door. Of course, there's been lots of strikes kicking about, making it tougher for fans to go. I'm going to bring on a guest who should normally be there, but is probably not because of the said strike. Mr. Dan, the 12th man. How are you, mate? You all right?
Yeah, unfortunately, as you've just said, mate, the train strikes have affected me big time. It's the only line I can get from where I live, so
yeah, it's
there you
ridiculous though that it's happened this way, and hopefully it doesn't have a negative impact on the team. I don't think it will. It's not great. It's not a nice place to go when it's half empty. Because it really does just feel, it really looks empty, doesn't it? Because it's such a big stadium and it's got so much space to go. But anyway, let's move on to the positives. It's the first leg of the playoff, Dan. What are you thinking, mate?
Oh, you would hope we can navigate this, and then group stages. We all want another European tour, don't we? Last season was unreal. I know it's a lot of people are looking at it and they're like, "Oh, it's Europa Conference. It's a bit different this year." But for me, mate, it's European football. There's only a couple of years between me and you, there. We've been fans of the club probably for a similar amount of time. We haven't been able to celebrate European football that much. So, I'm just hoping we can navigate. You get a nice win tonight, and then we go to the away leg and just do the business then. Group stages.
Yeah,
I'd like to think it'd be easy, but you just never know.
Yeah, you never know with West Ham because you don't know what West Ham's turning up this year. Hopefully, I'm on the positive mindset. I know there's going to be big changes because we've brought 6 signings in, which we've not done for such a long time, and there's more obviously to come. Before we move on, though, Dan, people will know you from the channel before. Obviously, you're one of the originals. You've gone off and you've got something new, so let people know where they can find you. And I'm telling you, when he tells you where to find them, go and find them because the content is top notch. So
I literally just started it up again properly like this year, like when obviously the transfer window opened. I've mainly just been doing sort of transfer shows at the minute, but I've got a lot of plans. But it's called the 12th Man, and essentially, for the majority of the season, I'm going to be inviting fans on and just doing sort of, talking about their club, why they support the club and stuff like that. I'm going to be doing, me and Russ had a conversation recently and he said, do the best 11s as well. So I'm going to be doing best 11s, but it won't just be West Ham. It's going to be, football in general. There's loads of stuff on there, all your transfer news, Premier League reviews, all that sort of stuff. So just stick the 12th Man in. Hopefully it should come up. It's a new channel. So, the algorithm's not that kind at the beginning, but if I'll send Ant the link and then you can link it somewhere, make it easier for people.
Absolutely. Mate. I mean, the knowledge this man has on all football is top notch. So you're going there and you're getting really good knowledge of information. In actual fact, we get opposition fans on. I really, in theory, could bring you on every week. Just get you to do your
probably,
section of the opposition team, to be honest, because you're extremely knowledgeable on it. And that comes kind of naturally because of all that stuff. But anyway, go across to Dan's channel, the 12th Man, give it a cheeky subscribe and keep watching the content as per usual. So, but you're here to talk about West Ham and join me on Match Day Live a little bit. Not many fans are going to be there, but I think we're going to see some changes. We don't know what West Ham's going to turn up. We've had two. It's not really been a great start to the season, but I'm not feeling negative about it. I think I'm a little bit disappointed at maybe the team selection v Forest. Over to you, Dan, for that one.
Yeah. I think City. I say it every season. City's a free hit. If you get something from City, then you've played well. And obviously I was at the game, and Steve, who I stand next to, we were saying that to beat City, 7 or 8 of your team have got to be having an 8, 9 out of 10, haven't they? To beat them, they're just an unbelievable unit, and they tire you out. Just with their ball possession, they tire you out. And I thought we did all right. The 2 shots on target they scored, so I don't think we were as bad as a lot said. And Nottingham Forest, mate, like it literally could have gone the other way, on a different day. We hit the bar twice, missed the penalty. Had one chalked off that I think is still contentious. I can see why the foul was given, but I can also see that it is a bit soft. So yeah, I think on another day you win that game. I'm with you. I was a bit disappointed with the starting lineup. I would have at least liked to have seen Cornet start, but then he didn't, and Ben Rama had the best game he's had in months. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, there was kind of a blessing in disguise there, I guess. But yeah, but Moyes is just known for this, though, isn't he, mate? Like
yeah.
makes a big advocate of Moyes. I know he's getting a lot of stick from certain sections of the fan base at the moment, but he does this with all his new signings. He takes his time. He never just throws them in there. He likes to know they're fit and match ready. But there is an argument that unless they're going to get game time, then they're not going to get match ready. So he's got to
100%.
start. And tonight might be a perfect opportunity to throw a Skamaka in, throw a Cornet in, a Downs, and get them match ready against. I don't like saying it because anything could happen in football, but against a lesser opposition.
Yeah. Well, we're only literally 7 minutes away from finding out the starting lineup for tonight's game. Of course, we're playing Viborg, the Danish team who beat the Faroe team. Yeah, B36. I think they were. Yeah, Faroe Islands team.
Oh, yeah.
But like you said, there's a case to start some of these players tonight. I mentioned in one of the videos that I did about maybe sharing the duty for Antonio and Skamaka, because in theory, you would want both players to be hitting on all cylinders. And if West Ham can perform well and put service into that box, the best thing for West Ham would be that Skamaka and Antonio can get off. But I'm not getting ahead of myself here, because what you said, in theory, on paper, we should get through this, but we are West Ham, and we all know what that means when
we've seen it many a time, haven't we? We know it can happen.
Absolutely. But I mean, there's lots of rumours kicking around. I mean, Carrere, we brought him in from PSG. He's fit. He's had a pre-season. He looks ready to rock and roll. I think we actually have the team news in. Well, according to rumours, it looks like Ashby's starting. Johnson's is starting. Ogbonna, Sefal, Coventry, Souček, Cornet, Lanzini, Bowen, and Skamaka. And Ogbonna is starting, apparently. So just waiting for final confirmation on that to come through, which will be in 4 or 5 minutes' time. But if that is the team, then Areola in goal, Ashby, Johnson, Ogbonna, Sefal, Coventry, Souček, Cornet, Lanzini, Bowen, and Skamaka. If it is the team, and let me please rephrase that, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's all right, mate. The one thing I'll say for all of the it's funny, obviously, when you've got a football channel, you know this just as much as me, mate. You've got your social media, you flick through and you see stuff. And this year, obviously, you've got the negative Nellies and the happy clappers. We've been given names now, which I find hilarious. And you kind of see all this stuff. And so you've got some that are like, Moyes out, he's doing this, that, and he needs to improve. And then you've got the ones that are pretty happy with everything. Me, I've got to say, I'm in the positive camp. If you look at the signings,
What's going on with you? Only winding you up, mate. I'm only winding you up.
If you look at the signings he's made, every single signing's made us a better team. So even that team you've kind of read out there, I still think the depth's so much stronger. Like, you don't really look at that and think, oh, that's a weak team now. I feel like the second team's just, it'll go and do a job. It'll do a proper job.
Well, you've kind of got to think about the players that have gone out the door, who a mixture of maybe featured or didn't feature a lot. And you look at these players and think, I can see them getting a shitload more minutes than what that team last year.
Yeah, definitely.
That team last year got. If Ashby, listen, Russ is a massive fan of Ashby. I mean, I've got to give credit where credit's due. He was very fortunate enough to be literally one of the only people that was able to continue to watch West Ham live, including the under-23s during the pandemic. He got to see a lot of him. We get to see a lot of him through the other 23 games that are put online, etc. He looks the real deal. He really does. It looks like he can step up to the plate. It might give us another option there, because we know that Carrere can play all the way through the back. If Ashby can cover that right back position, give us pace, then maybe we might be a bit more covered than what we think. But before I move on to you, Matt, Dan, Carrere signing, thoughts?
I think it's a good signing, mate. Just for the money paid, essentially you've sold Diop, who has been on the decline for a couple of seasons, and you've bought a player in for £5 million less than you've spent on him. And this is a player that's trusted at international level, and this is Germany we're talking about. It's no slouch at international level. He's trusted at that level and he's versatile. His strongest position is probably centre back, but he can play full back either side. So I think it's a no-brainer, that signing. 25 years of age as well. You're kind of getting him, sort of in that peak of his career, isn't you, as he heads into sort of his late 20s. I really think I think it's astute business. I think it's really good business.
Yeah. Matt, with the potential, I mean, I never like to confirm it until West Ham. Same with signings. Never like to confirm it until West Ham have put out there and it's official. But based upon what you've been told, what do you think of that potential teammate?
It doesn't look like a weak team. Like I saw, it was a news article the other day, and it compared what we like now to that team that played. Who was that? Was it the Romanian team we played that knocked us out? 2016, Astragugu.
Yeah.
And it shows you the team. It shows you the team we played then. The team we put out then was like genuinely awful. I think it was like there's only 3 players left in that squad that are still in the team. And like Dan said, the transfers we've made. Someone sent me this stat right at the start of the summer, like a couple of weeks back, and it was like these are the players that all went out had like 26 starts between them, and even if you add in Vlasic to that, it's still only 26 starts between them. And then Diop started about 10 games in the league just because of injuries. So you've not like the players we brought in are first team improvements. They will play in the first team. Rather than having a bench last year, where we had like 7 players on the bench, you full well like the only 3 subs boys were made because the rest of them were just dross, like just not good enough at all. He's now got options. And like I said, selling Diop for $5 million more than we bought in a better player.
Yeah.
We've done very well. The team, it's good to see Coventry get a start.
If this is the team, there's literally shitloads we can talk about. Cornet, Scamacca, the double debut, Coventry starting, Johnson still playing, deputising in the middle of the park alongside Ogbonna, Ashby, the young player, Sefal playing out left back, Areola starting in goal. If this is the team, there is a lot for us to get through and discuss, what the kind of thoughts are. But we are literally seconds away from getting this confirmation through. But Cornet, excited about him, Dan?
Yeah, very, mate. When we got linked to Kostic, I liked the idea of Kostic, but I felt like he was coming in to play wing back, whereas I think Cornet, that's an out-and-out left winger, and he knows that that's what he's brought him in for. And we're talking about a very similar fee, and he's younger. What is he? 4 years younger, 4 or 5 years younger. So you're going to get a bit more out of him. And the thing with Cornet as well that I'm one of these people that thinks it's really important. He's Premier League proven, 9 goals in the Premier League last season. I think that's really important. Knowing how physical the league is helps a player settle quicker.
Yeah, so we're getting the team confirmation through. So Areola, Sefal, Ogbonna, Johnson, Ashby, Coventry, Souček, Bowen, Lanzini, Cornet, and Scamacca, just like we had said. So there you go. There is the team news. Let's dissect it from bottom to top then. So Areola in goal, expected thoughts?
Yeah. Very much expected. He played all the European games last year, didn't he? So
yeah.
Is
this I mean, Dan, you've not been on for a while, so where's your head at in terms of Areola and Fabianski?
See, I would have thought we buying Areola, he would have maybe transitioned into the number 1. But then when you watch what Fab did against Nottingham Forest, you can kind of see why he's still got trust in Fab. That was probably one of Fab's better games. Like, don't get me wrong. I think Fab's at fault for the goal a little bit. He's dived off in that direction, and the ball was never going that way. I don't know what he see, but it's easy for us to say because we sit at home watching the game, don't we? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the Areola one at the moment. I thought he would have been number 1, but what is he, 28? If he sticks around this year and Fab's got 1 more year, and then he might be number 1 next year. Who knows?
I think the issue with it's not really an issue, but I think if this is Fab's last year, I think this is maybe why Nathan Trott's committed to the club and why Areola's committed to the club, and there's maybe a transitional year this year.
Yeah.
And if that is the transition, then you know, if Fab does finish up at the end of the year, Trott finds himself then, in theory, second place goalkeeper. But West Ham obviously think a lot of him to give him the contract. But we'll wait and see what happens with that. Ashby, though, we've briefly mentioned him. He is starting today. I'm looking forward to seeing what he's like starting, actually, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he's like back there with, you know, you can say Johnson's now an experienced player in the squad. Ogbona's making his first start for a while after a big injury. Matt, thoughts on Oggy starting?
It's just good timing. Like we need centre backs.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Johnson, because Johnson looks pretty solid, but he has made some iffy mistakes purely because he's in that repetition of playing fullback. So, like, if someone normally does get that running inside him, he can track back, but he know that, he's still got to beat the centre back to then get in on goal. Whereas, like we saw, I think for the Haaland penalty, admittedly, whoever played centre back would not have caught Haaland anyway. The explosive pace was scary, but he did let him go on the inside of him. So maybe having someone like Ogbonna next to him, if they want, this could be more of a pairing going forward in the cup games. Ogbonna trying to put his experience in on him to just mould him a bit more into that centre-back role. It's his final year. Is he going to get a swan song? Is he going to play all the cup games? Because we now have, especially after the World Cup, we're going to have 3 younger starting centre-backs. So we might see a lot of Ogbonna in the Europa Conference if we get through.
Yeah, absolutely. Sufal, Dan, been so far a very good servant for West Ham. A bit touch and go, a little bit touch and go last year. Looks a little bit off the pace so far this season. But what's your thoughts on Vladimir Sufal?
So I'm assuming he's going to play left back tonight.
Yeah, it looks like
I'm going to assume they're not going to do that to Ashby and stick him down the left.
But if you look at the West Ham Twitter, like the picture, the way I read that
is that Ashby might play left.
Yeah, because you wouldn't. Ogbonna's not going to play the right side of the back two.
No,
Ogbonna will play left side, and the way it's written is like Sufal, Ogbonna, Johnson, Ashby.
Yeah. See, so I've been thinking.
Unless they get it back to front, maybe it's like Sufal, Ogbonna. So maybe Ashby is playing right back.
See, I was thinking, and Moyes won't do it because it's just the way Moyes is. But I have been thinking, Sufal obviously had the injury last year, so he did fall off a bit. He's a bit inconsistent, and when he came back, and he wasn't really properly fit, and then he's had his pre-season, and I still don't think he's quite there where he was when we first signed him. And I just feel like Ashby, we're hearing lots of stuff about Ashby, and I think he'll offer us more going forward. Because the one thing Johnson and Sufal struggled with recently is offering that outlet in the final third. They're both really good defensively, but we need more in that final third. I was wondering if Ashby plays well tonight, is this kind of like his way to force his way in, maybe force the issue? I'm here. I can play right back too.
I mean, he has actually said, he has actually spoken out and said that this is something I want to do. I want to make the step up. I definitely think he is more than capable of doing it, but in order for him to do it, we need to see him. And I think the biggest thing I've clocked is the pace. I know we've always spoke about it, but I think it's really becoming quite clear in the first 2 games this season that pace is definitely what we need, which is what makes the signing of Cornet exciting, because he will offer that. Having Ashby on the park again will massively offer that.
Well, your point on pace there, like you can really see it in the fullback areas. Cresswell, bless his heart, he's 33 soon, and he looks like when he's running at full pelt, it really looks like it hurts, doesn't it? Now, like when you watch him, it hurts me watching it. He's been a great servant, but like it comes a time where it's like you've got to start looking at these areas and like bringing in better players. And Sufal looks like he's lost a little bit of pace because of that injury, and he isn't quite over it. And you really notice it in them fullback areas, like against Forest when they were hitting us on the counter, it was like every time it was straight over the top of Cresswell. He couldn't catch up, and it was just they were gone. You really do notice it.
I'll say that is what killed Cresswell, wasn't it? As well, was the injury. You're saying about Sufal, that's what killed Cresswell.
Yeah,
and Johnson spent half the Forest game basically playing left back. that we just played one centre back, Zuma, on his own because Thompson was like filling in for Fredwell.
Which is probably why he suffered so much. He had an awful game, Zuma.
For anyone that's just joining us, we are going through the starting 11. However, I've got this video to let you know who our starting 11 is for the game against Viborg tonight. What do you think then of Coventry getting a start tonight? Is it the fact that David Moyes has been very proactive in looking at another central midfielder to come into the club, thinking about giving him the opportunity tonight? Is this his last opportunity, would you say, to try and prove that he can step up to the mark and do it? And if he steps up to the mark, Dan, is that enough?
This is his audition tonight, I think. I think this is it's make or break because he's 22, isn't he? He's getting on now, Coventry. And you've got to think that he's the same age as Rice. And I know like every footballer's different and whatever, but if you're really going to make it, they're the levels you've got to get to. So I think this is audition. I still think Moyes is going to get a centre mid before this window closes. I really think he wants. I think he's seen something in Souček last season and this year. Now that Rice is free roaming, he's seen that Souček can't do what he wants him to do, and that's not me. That's no slander on Souček. I think Souček's still a great footballer, but he just doesn't have the mobility that we need in the midfield now. And because he has just changed the system now that Rice gets forward more. So maybe this is an audition for him. You know, if he goes out there, does well tonight, then you never know, he might be involved in the squad. I know a lot of people are surprised that Downs ain't getting the start, but maybe Downs hasn't got as much to prove, has he?
Knock or something, they said.
There was I'm just having a look here to see. He is on the bench. There was a toe knock or something like that.
Toe knock or something. He didn't have a toe injury.
Yeah.
I think I think Coventry might decide. This performance might decide where in the central midfield is the money gets spent. Because obviously there is all the rumours that Moyes wants more of an attacking midfielder. So I think if Coventry puts in the performance today, Moyes might go, okay, well, if I've got Coventry and Downs that can fill spaces in their midfield holding to with Rice and Souček, then I can go and get that more attacking player. But like if Coventry stinks the joint out tonight, which I don't think he will, to be fair, but if he does, then Moyes may not even go for that attacking midfielder and may go, maybe I do need to still try and bring in that marquee sort of holding midfielder.
Yeah, see, when I look at the squad, I don't think we need an attacking midfielder. I think there's enough players there that can do that job. And I would personally like to see Fornals given a proper go there because that's his position. That is Fornals' natural position. Rather than being slung out on that left-hand side, you know, and told to track up and down and just put a foot in and work hard. Because I think Fornals has got to that point with a fan base where people like him, but they like him just because he's a grafter. But there's more to Fornals' game than just grafting and putting a foot in and winning the ball back. Like we've seen how good he is on the football when he's given time. And I would like to see him given the chance to play inside in that attacking midfield role and us go out and spend, say, 30, 40 million on a proper CDM, someone who's sitting there and just connect the back four to the midfield and start the attack. So I'd rather that be where the money's spent personally, because I just think, you know, Benrahma can probably play central if we needed him to. We know Cornet can do it, Fornals can do it, Lanzini can do it. I just think we've got so many options for that position. But then when you look at centre mid, you've got Souček and Rice, and then Downs at a push, but he's still learning, he's still young, so I think the need for a centre mid's far more important at the minute.
Is there a concern then that by not playing, say, Ben Rama, because he had a great game against Nottingham Forest, and having that consistency for a player like him to have that regular consistency, you know, is it an opportunity tonight, or is Moyes thinking about, you know, opportunity to give other players a shot, give Cornet some game time? I'm not trying to say he's treating this game like pre-season, because I think Moyes has got enough respect for the opposition and the competition to not say anything like that. However, if we were to try and dissect it a little bit more, is that the mindset that I'm giving Cornet and Scamacca game time in an opportunity game that if I hadn't qualified, I wouldn't have had? Do you know what I mean? Because he keeps talking about pre-season, and when he brings players in, these boys haven't had pre-season. However, he's starting them both tonight. What do you think from that?
It's like that. Do you remember last year when we had the early rounds of the League Cup, and he had like two teams, and it was like the players that you wouldn't consider first team players, and take Cornet and Scamacca maybe out of the team, because like you said, they are literally just, Scamacca needs the minutes for fitness, Cornet just needs to blend into the team. So for him, it is like, all right, well, they can play because they're going to be first team players and they need the gelling time, playing time. The rest of it literally is Moyes is treating this like we're playing, was it Charlton we played? Like Charlton, Chesterfield, them home games last year in the League Cup. When Moyes did play, like we saw then, Ashley played, Longjello played. He had a mixture of the kids and like the backup players, like Yarmolenko played. And I think Moyes, no disrespect to them, but they did finish 7th in the Danish league. And Moyes will never put a team out that he expects to lose. He'll never do that Big Sam against Forest in the cup when he chucked 11 kids out and we like lamb to the slaughter to prove a point. Moyes knows he needs European football. He wants European football. But equally, he will see it as this team should be good enough. I mean, look, we've all said that team on paper should be good enough.
Yeah.
It's just a case of it respects the opposition while using it as basically as a bonus game. But maybe he's got to find that mentality for him to pass the players between it being a cup game and not too much of a friendly, even though he looks like the team he's picked and treating it for fitness, it looks like he might have picked it treating it a bit like a friendly, like a given already, which is a very bad thing to do for a West Ham team.
Yeah, especially for a West Ham team. But yeah, I know. I kind of get the point you're making. I get the point you're making, though, man. Like, would you leave him in because consistency is his biggest issue? You know, so like he had a good game against Forest. It's like, do you leave him in tonight and see if he has another good game, and then hopefully he gets a string of good games rather than the breaks between. Like personally, but Ben Rama will start on Sunday. I just think he will. Off the back of that Forest performance, I think he's probably one of the first names on the team sheet for Sunday. But this is the point Matt's making is very fair. But this is the point of having squad depth, though, isn't it? So that for the games like this, you can say, right, Antonio can have a week's rest, and you can have the Wednesday off. You can have this night off or whatever. I think that's the whole point, and I think that's what the fan base has been screaming out for the last year. We need that depth. Last season, it wasn't so much that we didn't have depth last year, but the depth wasn't good. There was no impact players where they're off the bench. You're expecting Yarmolenko to come on and change a game, and it's not going to happen. So I think this season we've got game changers, haven't we, now on the bench?
Right, so you think about the players that left. What it was: Martin, Fredericks, Yarmolenko, obviously Noble went, Krau went, Vlasic has gone. Like I said, between like them, like 26 starts over a game of, what was it, 50, 56, 58 games we played last year?
Yeah.
They only started 26 between them. Antonio started 48 games.
Yeah.
But that shows you. Whereas like now, today, we hadn't even got to the bench yet, but you can see players on there you think they'd start in first.
Yeah.
So it shows you, like you said, it is a case of...
Yeah, you're looking at that starting lineup, like, you've got to think, like, on another day, like, a Soufal, Oggy, Souček, Bowen, Cornet, Scamacca, they all start for the first team. It's actually, when you're looking at it, that's a strong team that he's put out there. He's just giving the likes of Scamacca and Cornet like game time, basically, because they need it.
Yeah. Souček, though, we spoke about him. I mean, I know we've moved on from Coventry. We've kind of touched on him a bit, but you know what? I think the first time I probably really kind of criticised him personally, I struggle to criticise West Ham players in general. But the first time I really criticised him was probably the Nottingham Forest game, because it did really pass him by, and he did lose possession quite a lot and things like that. However, I think he did go a lot under the radar last year because we had two different seasons from him. We had a season where he scored a lot of goals and he was progressing further forward, although the last season he was sitting further back, allowing Declan Rice, as you mentioned, Dan, earlier on. However, he still is up there for me as a player that can challenge the first team spot, even if we do bring someone in. But it doesn't mean that he will start. I think what I agree with you, I'm starting to see some of the things that maybe highlight the issues that we've got in the middle of the park and why Moyes is looking at that. And if you look at Hans Vanaken, for example, yes, I get it. He's now about to turn 30 in 6 days' time. However, if you believe in the concept and what Moyes is trying to do at the club, he has said that, yeah, the Red Bull model is something I want to follow. It doesn't mean he's going to execute that with every single move that he makes. But if you can buy a player that can add value and strength to a position, then it's a position he wants to do. So if we believe in the Moyes, model of searching for players, finding the right player for the right piece of the jigsaw to fit into the team, then when you look at Vanaken, when you look at him, albeit he plays in the Belgian league, he fits the mold of European experience, Champions League experience, playing at the highest level, scoring a lot of goals. He's not blessed with pace, but he can break up play. He can drive forward. He's an extremely intelligent footballer, and he's at the prime of his career. And you think to yourself, well, even if you get two seasons out of him, then that's West Ham making that step up. That's bridging that gap, that transition.
I think people need to start shedding this terrible habit of the minute that a player hits 30, his career's done.
Yeah.
Because it's football, Dan. It's the football manager players.
It is. It's a football manager, and it's a FIFA thing, isn't it? Where they just a player it's 30.
Bin them off.
I know we've bin them off now because they're 30. We've got to get rid of that, because there's certain players, they'll hit the prime of their career, 28 to 32. That's where they'll really get going. And I like the links to this player, and he to me, I don't know too much about him. From what I've read, from what I've looked at, he just looks like a more mobile, technical Souček, basically. He prefers to play a bit further forward, which might be a little bit of an issue, because it might be a fact that it might be a case they're going to try to accommodate him and Souček in the same team, and neither of them are packed with pace, are they? But he can play Cam though, Matt. That's the trouble. I was thinking this the other day. Moyes likes a big team, doesn't he? We're going to have the lankiest team in the league at this rate, though. We
might try and beat Man United one day.
If you were to bring Vanaken in, he's 6'5". You add that to Scamacca's 6'5", Ogbonna, Zuma, Souček. It would cause a lot of problems. Definitely for opposition teams. Anyway, Tommy, you're in the house. Hope you're well, mate. What do you think of the starting 11?
Yeah, pretty pleased with it. Yeah, it's a good side. Side that should be able to deal with anything Viborg throw at them. Really pleasantly surprised to see Ogbonna start. So we thought he'd be a little while yet, but it's obviously when it comes to centre backs, it's great to have another one back. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. The thing with Ogbonna, I think he's a cracking centre back when he's had a run of games and he gets into his stride. He's a very, very good centre back. Problem with Ogbonna we've had in the past is when he comes back from injury, he can be a bit wobbly early on. It takes him a little while to kind of to get his form up. I know he's had a couple of games, the under-23s, and he's not been great in those games. He's looked shaky, scored an own goal in one of them. So I'll be interested to see how Ogbonna does. Hopefully he got those shaky games out of his system with the under-23s, and he'll be at it tonight. But it is great to see him back nonetheless. I was looking forward to seeing Flynn Downs as well, actually. So it's a shame that he has a little niggly toe issue. Obviously he's good enough to be on the bench, but it's an opportunity for Connor to impress. Conor Coventry has an opportunity here to show Moyes that, you know, he's absolutely worthy of being in the first team squad. Apparently, he has impressed in training. So this will be his opportunity, because it's one thing to impress in training. It's another thing to bring that into competitive matches. So I'll be really rooting for Conor that he'll have a really good game tonight. Also, Ashby. You know, I think Ashby's an absolutely cracking young footballer. I think he is our future right back. I think it's only a matter of time before he forces Sofal out of that position. And I think he may even do it this season. I think he's that good. So if he gets these opportunities in Europe and he gains that little bit of experience and he continues to develop and quickly, the same way, for example, that Rice did, I think we've got a really great right back in our hands that could be with us in that position for years to come. And obviously, as regards new signings, we've got Scamacca starting and Cornet starting. So we'll all obviously be hoping they can hit the ground running and create some carnage.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. Dan, Bowen starting tonight, is that a bit of a surprise, or do you think Moyes is thinking, I need to get this boy up to the standards? I mean, I'm not digging him out anyway whatsoever. I actually think he's one of the players that looks like he's slightly delayed in pre-season. You know, he's still got he's still maybe in pre-season mode a little bit, and maybe that's having a bit of a knock-on effect to how he starts the season, and maybe he's thinking, do you know what, he needs more game time.
Yeah. I think he's been thrown in tonight to get him going, get him up to speed, kickstart his season. You got to think it's amazing what a goal can do for, you know, someone's career. So, a season. So if he goes out there and gets a goal or two tonight, then who knows where the season goes for him from there. So I think he's been thrown in to kind of kickstart his season. End of the day, mate, maybe it just dried up at home. He got engaged, didn't he? And you know, Danny Dyer's just got what I want there.
Love it. We're joined by Luke and Jake from West Ham Unofficial. If you haven't already, go and check it out and hit that subscribe button for young Jakey boy. Lads, you've seen the lineup. We're working our way through the team. We've just spoke a little bit about Bowen. Now I'm going to come on to you, Jake, and talk about Lanzini starting the game tonight. I think a lot of fans, you know, me included, 2 years ago, thought that was it. He was done. He was looking for the door out, the way out the door. He worked his way back into the team, you know, that goal against Tottenham. And then last season, you know, he trickled his way back into the team again and became a very vital part of it. And he's there or thereabouts. And I always find with Lanzini that he performs better when you've got I'm bringing the name up, but a Payet-esque type of player, creative player that lets Lanzini, you know, flow and do what he needs to do. But he's thereabouts. You know, what's your thoughts on him starting tonight?
Yeah, I think it's the right call, and I think it's time he kickstarts his season, because I thought against City, I didn't think he was fantastic. Ben Rama came in and played very well in his position against Forest, so it's now his time to hit back and show Moyes and whoever's on the touchline tonight that, you know, he's still there. He's had an exceptional last season where he really came back onto the scene again, as you said. So yeah, I think this is the perfect opportunity for Lanzini and many other players tonight to really get their season started. Maybe get a goal or an assist and get their confidence up.
Yeah, I think actually, if I can say, Anton, I think the Europa League was the making of Lanzini last season, because Moyes played him in the group stage games, and he was able to build up his confidence, build up his match fitness, build up his match sharpness. And throughout that league campaign in the Europa League, he just kept getting better and better and better. And so to the point where his form was so good in Europe that Moyes started bringing him off the bench in the Premier League. And then he was having an impact in those games. And that way was able to force his way back into the first team proper for Premier League games. So I think the Europa League did wonders for Lanzini last year. It was exactly what he needed. Real game time so that he could find his form again and get that sharpness back.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Look, you messaged in the group chat a while ago saying you feel a bit gutted that you've actually not gone tonight. But there is going to be a lot of fans in the same boat because of the circumstances, you know, that we find ourselves in with the train strikes, etc. If it is half full, I spoke to Dan about it earlier on. How are you feeling about that transitioning into the players in any way at all? Or
I was feeling guilty until you just reminded me that there's train strikes, and now I don't feel so guilty because I would have been one of them muppets that was like phoning my dad who lives in London, going, "Mate, I need a place to stay for tonight. There's no point going back." Although I do have work tomorrow, so yeah, it could do. It's funny because I feel like I said to you guys before on the group chat, I feel like I've been playing almost like a pre-season. I don't feel like we've really realised the season started yet. We're still playing almost half-mast up sort of performances. You know, we played better against Forest, but overall, especially the first game, we just looked so lethargic. That team tonight, the defence is pretty much, apart from Ashby, is sort of, I think, Bonner's back in as well, which is pretty good. But that team is to me, from say defence back, shot to pieces. I mean, if the fans might be able to give them something, they might give them a push. I mean, it's not the biggest game in the world. I think the Conference League, we all know the Conference League is a step down from the Europa League, and it's a little bit. I think if you'd ask most fans, it is a little bit disheartening the fact we're not still in the Europa League. We are in the Conference League. It's still Europe, so we're still taking advantage of that, and it's nice to be in Europe and all that stuff like that. But Viborg got home in the qualifier. I've got flashbacks of Astragugu still going on, so I'm glad that he's put out a decent team. So hopefully we won't get embarrassed tonight. And there's few amount of fans that have gone there are enough to push the players on. So we don't have to worry about any bad performances or bad results or anything like that. But I'm gutted tonight that Souček's in the team and Downs isn't starting alongside Coventry. I thought we had a perfect opportunity to put them both in and see what they can both do, but he just cannot drop Souček. He's such allergic.
I think he's got a knockdown, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think
I don't care.
Downs don't care.
Downs with a knock is at the minute twice the player that Souček is with a full fit body. I don't care.
Yeah, you've got a point, to be fair.
If he's got a knock, don't put him on the bench.
Everyone,
does anyone know if Ashby has actually played left back before?
Good question.
Soufal will play left back, won't he?
I guess even worse.
If you read in the team sheet as it's written, then Ashby's playing left back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know,
a minute.
but Budgie has joined the chat. Budgie is from Green Street Elites on YouTube. If you haven't already, go across there, check it out, and hit the subscribe button for Budgie. Budgie, the team lineup.
Right.
I'm going to ask your thoughts on it in a second. However, I am going to jump straight into the new debutants who are starting tonight. Corney and Scamacca. What's your thoughts on Corney getting a start tonight in the starting 11?
I think it was absolutely essential. I don't think he had a choice. I mean, we've been struggling out on that left-hand side for too long. We've had some half-decent performances from various players, but there's never been a consistent quality player out there. And I think Corney's the man to actually fill that void. So it's about time he got a start, I think. And I'm looking for a massive 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 game from him tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get on to Scamacca, the man that's leading the line tonight. From what I've saw so far, I have been impressed. I'll bring this one back to you, Dan. I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts on what Scamacca could potentially bring to West Ham in the team tonight.
My only worry is that he's looked. I thought he was very promising against City when he came on. Won all his headers. Actually found players with the knock-ons as well, which is something we've been screaming out for. But I felt like when he came on against Forest, he was isolated a little bit, and he isn't going to do those swashbuckling runs that Antonio does, where he runs into blind alleys. He just isn't going to do that because he's an intelligent footballer. And Antonio will do that graft because Antonio knows what he can do and what he can't do, and he'll run the channels and whatever. And I just don't think Scamacca's that player. So as long as the wingers are close enough, he could have an amazing game, and I think he'll go on and do amazing things. But from what I've seen, and I've watched a bit of Serie A last season, the players have got to be close. I think he had Raspadori playing off him last year. And I think he needs that. I'm not saying he actually needs someone to be up there with him. I don't think we need to play two, but I think he needs players that play off him. So we need a Bowen to have a big game. We need him to kind of be up there next to him. We need Cornet to be up there next to him as well. So you would hope Scamacca, though, the money spent, the player that we've bought, he should be scoring. These are the games he should be scoring goals in.
Yeah, absolutely. Jakey boy, thought. I mean, it is exciting though as a West Ham fan to see the new players start. You know, it does make it look all exciting and different, I suppose you could say. And I do agree with Dan there. You know, Raspadori was a big, player for Scamacca. I think he's literally on the cusp of signing for Napoli on a loan deal with an obligation to buy after as well. You know, I think the loan is a £5 million loan fee with an obligation for about 30 million quid. The owner of Sassuolo mentioned and said that he didn't want to lose the two players in one season because that could absolutely dramatically change the dynamics of how they are. But Jake, having Scamacca up top with the mindset of Cornet playing balls in one side, Bowen playing balls in the other side, trying to get closer to it. I think this is what's going to be exciting about tonight is, will we see a new style of play from West Ham? And do you think we'll see that, Jake?
Yeah. I think we will see different things, Jack, because we are playing a different player up front at the end of the day. You know, Antonio and Scamacca, it's two completely different players. You know, you've got Scamacca who's a proper striker, and Antonio who's just been chucked up there and drifts out here and there and isn't really in the box for the balls that come in for the majority of the time. So I think he should get service tonight from Bowen and Cornet and Lanzini just sitting behind him. He should get the service and he should score a couple of goals tonight. And I do think we will aim to put the ball into the box more, because we know 9 times out of 10 Scamacca is going to be in the right place if it's a good ball to get his head on it and try and put it in the back of the net, because that's the kind of striker he is. So I do think we will see a kind of change in the way we play, almost more orthodox, as if we're going to try and get as many balls into the box as we can to see if we can just put a few into the back of the net.
Budgie, I want to respect the opposition, and I will always respect the opposition. Do you think, though, that Moyes has put out a stronger team than what a lot of fans expected? Therefore, is he in his mindset thinking, let's get this tie done with, if I can, so I can move on to Sunday, and then with a little bit less pressure moving into the second leg? Oh, Budgie, you're on mute, mate. You're on mute.
Sorry, my bad.
There you go.
It was because my phone rang, wasn't it? Yeah, sorry. I think there's a bit of both in there, really, if I'm honest. He's going to be fielding best team he can to get the job done, clearly. That's clearly what he's done this evening. But I think he's also shown ample respect to them, but also he's given some of the younger players the opportunity to stamp their mark on the first team, really. It's not quite done what he did last year in the Europa League, when the last game was a dead rubber and he fielded 5 under-23s, wasn't it? Yeah. This time he's only fielded 2 which aren't first team regulars. And I actually said this to Jake earlier. I think that with Johnson on the pitch, he will help to kind of advise and guide the younger players, because he's not far off their age. He's played with them at the younger levels as well. So I think it's going to be key that he stays level-headed to keep the other guys level-headed, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, mate, we've kind of gone through the team. You kind of joined at one point. I don't know if you were here when we were speaking about Coventry. Big game for him tonight. Huge game for him tonight. Are you excited to see him? I know you said you were a bit disappointed that Downs wasn't there. You were hoping it was maybe going to be Downs and Souček that were, Downs and Coventry that were leading the line in the middle of the park. But a great opportunity for Coventry, a good way that Dan put it was, it's his audition, really, isn't it?
It is. It's a bit. I've saying about Downs. I have read some reports or heard some people say that Downs isn't impressing many people in training, which is a bit of a worry because you want the lad to succeed. He's a West Ham boy. It's almost like one of us playing for the team. You wanted that boy to succeed for that reason. Coventry one's interesting because he had that 6-month early loan deal for the first part of last season. Didn't go well. Then went on loan to MK Dons and done really well. And whether that's him pushing on, thinking, do you know what? If I don't make this loan deal work, I'm never going to get a chance. I need to make it work. Now he's getting an opportunity, and would he have got the opportunity if Noble hadn't retired? I'm not so sure, but it's good. This is kind of almost like maybe passing the flame or whatever it's called. I think it's a great opportunity for him, possibly even the inclusion of Ashby in tonight as well. Is saying that maybe Moyes isn't completely against playing in the youth, like I think many people, fans, including myself, sometimes think. So hopefully that's something that tells us, well, maybe he's not completely against the youth. He's not being as stubborn maybe as he was towards the end of last season. But it's to play. I think to play with someone like Souček is different. If he was playing alongside Rice, I'd be more confident with him. I think Rice is a more confident player for someone to play alongside with. Whereas Souček was back to his old self against Forest. He was chucking himself in the box and everything. He wasn't holding back like he was last season. So having that partnership might work out better, might not. But I'm looking forward to seeing him. Hopefully he scores a goal tonight. I think I've just put a bet on for us to win 4-1. Skamaka and Cornet to score any time. And if he gets a goal in front of, quarter of the stadium full of fans, it's something. So I'm buzzing for him. I hope he does really well. And yeah, it can only be a good thing, can't it, really?
Dan, does playing Coventry tonight maybe highlight what Moyes genuinely thought of Alex Kroll?
Well, I don't know, mate. I don't know.
Is that harsh?
There's this thing though, isn't there, with Moyes that he doesn't trust, that he don't play youngsters. And my theory on this is that it's not that he won't play youngsters, because we all forget David Moyes gave Rooney his debut.
Yeah, but Rooney was a different.
No, but that proves my point though, Luke. If you're good enough, he'll give you a go. It's not that he doesn't. It's not that he doesn't play youth. It's not that he doesn't play youth. If you're good enough, he'll play you. But he's got to trust you. He ain't going to throw you in if he don't trust you. And that comes back to his favourites. Everyone does this whole Moyes favourites. I don't think it's so much that they're favourites. They're players he trusts. He knows they'll go out there, they'll play 90 minutes, put in a shift. And even when they're having a poor game, they'll still go out there and do what Moyes wants. It might not always work, but, but we've come to this season now where he's starting to improve this team. This season is where Moyes has got to show that that favourites tag ain't there no more. If this player don't play well, then you're going to rotate him out for someone else, because we're going to have a quality in depth now. We're going to have 2 players in every position that are going to be worthy of playing first team football. So you would hope that he's going to give a chance. And so tonight, this was his chance to rest players. Was that he had no choice with Rice, obviously, with the suspension. But I'm with you, Luke. I was disappointed to see Souček's name on there because I don't think he's done enough over the last, few months. But who'd you play? Because he'll want Fornals rested. He'll want Benny rested. So he's left with no choice.
That's what I was kind of saying, because we're on the favourites thing, and I honestly do think that's true. There's the evidence sort of proves itself most weeks. But the Benrahma, I know you like the tweet actually before we come on. I think you may agree with me or not, but he's almost like predictable with what he does. And yet at the weekend, Benrahma, who he clearly doesn't fancy because he's not his signing, was left on, and Fornals was taken off. And Fornals is never ever taken off for the reasons we all know pretty much, because he's injured. But Benny was left on because he was playing so well. And is that maybe now Moyes is starting to think, well, if he can prove me wrong, who else can prove me wrong? Do you get what I'm saying? Because
Moyes' mindset has got to change this season anyway. Because there's been a lot of negativity surrounding the transfer window. Deals taking too long to get done. We're not getting our number one targets, and people act like we're the only club this happens to. But we see it because it's our West Ham bubble. This is what we pay attention to, and so. Moyes just has the players he trusts. But if you can prove him wrong, then he'll give you a go. And like you say, Benny, that's not his signing. It looked like he was going to leave, but Benny's come in. He's had an unbelievable game against Forest, and then he's looked at that and gone, "Okay, there's a player I can use now."
Fair enough.
And because we're a team in transition, he's got to transition his way of doing things. He can't just keep playing the same 11 and grinding them into the ground. Especially when you're going to have a bench, when you look at it on paper, when they're all fit, it's going to be one of the best West Ham teams we've had in years, lads. Because there's going to be strength in every position. Like genuine, if you look at centre back now, with when Agurd comes back, you've got Kehra, you've got Ogbonna, Dawson, Zuma. That is unbelievable. And any Premier League team out there would be screaming out for those centre back options. Mm-hmm. Then you go and improve other areas. I said to Matt earlier, I think we're fine in the attacking third. We've now got Antonio and Scamacca who can kind of rotate the strikers, and then the three that are behind, you've got so many different options there now. Fornals for me should be playing attacking mid anyway. I don't think he should be playing on the left or deep. Yeah, so you've got him in there. You've got Lanzini. You've got Benny who can play centre or left. You've got Cornet. You've got Bowen. Like so many options now. And this is the thing.
Yeah,
Moyes can't play those same 11 week in, week out now, because not only has he got a squad to balance, but say you sit a Scamacca on the bench, when the season finishes, he'll be the first one to go, yeah, not happy, see you later. And then you're back to square one, where you're in transition again, trying to find another striker that it took him 3 years to get this time. So he's got to change. He's got to change his ways as much as the team has.
Oh, hold on a second. Look, sorry, I'll be 2 seconds. Moyes is missing tonight, Jakey boy. However, he will be in the stands and he will be having his full say. So really, in theory, the only thing we're missing is him from the touchline. But if you look at the touchline, you've got Billy McKinley, you've got Mark Warburton, you've got Kevin Nolan. They are all a bit crazy. So will that have any form of impact on West Ham tonight? And on the back of that, anything you want to add from what Dan and Luke had just said?
Yeah, I think with Moyes being missing, I don't think it makes any particular difference. It just means that subs are going to take an extra 5 minutes to what they already do. So we'll probably make them in the 93rd minute instead of the 89th minute. So I don't think that makes too much of a difference. And I do think that Moyes is starting to change in his ways as well, because we've now got Scamacca there. He warmed to Benny on Sunday, and rightly so, because he played very well. We have got that very good starting squad there now. We still need to sign another left back, maybe another centre midfielder, and I think we're then ready and all set and ready to go. But yeah, Moyes is, with his transfers, and hopefully if he can just make some subs a bit quicker, then I think he gets a lot more people on side to what he really, really wants, I think.
Budgie, what do you think then?
I'm quite surprised that he's brought in a couple of the youngsters for this. I really wasn't expecting that. Pleasantly surprised, I must add. But yeah, I think Jake's basically covered that bit. I actually disagree with the with the substitution thing. I think they're more likely to happen a little sooner if it's somebody else in charge. I think it's David Moyes that dithers around on the substitutions. It's not. I don't think it's going to be the same tonight. I think we got to go out there and look strong. I just think we've just got to go over and completely outrun them, outpace them, overrun them.
One thing we've not actually spoken about is the substitution. So Dan, I'm assuming we're probably going to be seeing some of the subs coming off the bench and getting a bit of a run out. So the subs we know that are on the bench tonight are Trott, Randolph, Zuma, Carrera, the new signing, Baptiste, Chesters, Ekwa, Fornals, Downs, Okaflex, Benrahma, and Antonio. Can you see that being an important bench tonight?
Yeah, mate, he'll use the bench however he sees fit. When if we're cruising, then you would imagine maybe an Ekwa, a Baptiste, an Okaflex would probably be the ones that he'd go to. I know Chester's actually been given a really good chance in the European games last year and the Cup games, so that wouldn't be a surprise. But then if you're struggling, he's got options. He's got a Benrahma and an Antonio. I know Downs has got that toe injury, but it would be nice to see him get 10 or 15 minutes as well, because Obviously, he's a new signing. He's not going to get his full debut like some of the others, but I think that would be quite nice. But it's a strong enough bench. There's players there that can impact the game, and that's the difference to last season. That bench impacts the game. If you're struggling, that you've got difference makers now. Last season, no disrespect to Noble, I love Noble. There's a poster of Noble up on the wall behind me. Absolutely love him, but last season he weren't going to impact games off the bench, was he? He just wasn't. He was at that stage of his career. You had a Yarmo, never going to impact a game. 10 minutes, they're just not. They weren't different makers last year. Whereas I think now, you look at that bench, there's difference makers on that one. So, yeah, it'll get used. It's just we'll see what the context is as the game goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. If you are watching, get your score predictions in with 15 minutes to go to kickoff. Put your score predictions in the chat just now. And also, for anyone that doesn't know, here's a little video explainer for what happens in the Europa Conference League. Jakey boy, we are in another European competition this year. How important is it for us to get off to a winning start and try our best to do something and go the distance in this competition? Followed up by, what is your score predictions?
Yeah, I think it's really, really key, because I do think this is probably one of the very few routes back into Europe for us next season. If we win this, we're through to the Europa League next year, which I don't think we're going to get through league position. I'd be surprised if we finish 6th this year, if I'm honest. So I think this is our easiest way of getting back into that Europa League for next year. So I think it's crucial that we take every game seriously. I think it's crucial that we go out there and we beat them, and we beat them well tonight, so we don't have to worry too much about the game next Thursday in Denmark. So yeah, and we'd all like us to go far. Let's go 2 steps further than we did last year, and I think that starts off tonight with a 4-0 West Ham win.
Oh, lovely. Take that right now. Budgie boy, same question to you about the Conference League. How important is it to West Ham? And of course, your predictions as well.
Yeah. I'll mirror more or less everything Jake's just said. I think for the new players that have come in, I think the competition has to be, kind of like not the focal point, but it has to be a focal point for those guys. I mean, they've just come to the club. They're going to get an opportunity to play European football, in their first season at the club. And I think that's very important, because that will drive them to want to go further and further in competition. And hopefully, let's say in 2 or 3 years, we may be in a position to start challenging in Champions League. It's quite possible with the group of guys we've got that could be a reasonable target. For tonight, I think 3-0. I think we're going to definitely get a clean sheet, 3-0.
Rookie boy.
Yeah, Dave just saying there about Champions League. For me, it has to be the the outline, the what's target. So that's it, target. Because we didn't. I am personally amazed that we've still got Declan Rice, because I as soon as we got knocked out by Frankfurt, I thought he's gone. I know I had about 10 beers at the time, but I thought, no, he's definitely gone. He's definitely had it. But it's definitely where we need to. If we're really going to keep the players we've signed, this is the thing. We've signed these players now, not because we're going to be playing Europa Conference League for the next 5 years. It's because they every time we sign these players, one of the first things they say while they sign for the club is because of the project. The project spoke with their manager, and he talks very good about the project. So they know really that this is meant to be a stepping stone. Within a way, we kind of let ourselves down by not getting Europa League again. We're very close to getting it again, but I think little things maybe. If we'd have got Champions League the previous season before qualified for Europa, Jesse Lingard might have signed. That's the difference between it. I don't know. I'm not saying I wanted him to. But it was at that time. It's like, well, some players might have come and stayed that didn't come, and it all takes its toll. So I'm really surprised we signed players like Cornet. I didn't think Cornet would come to West Ham at all. I wanted him. It's one of them players. I'd love to get him. I don't think it's going to happen. It does happen. So it has to be the target. We have to go out and try and win this, because I think we were sort of like a bit of bridesmaid last season with Europa League. We thought, oh, this is entertaining. We've not been in Europe for a little while. This is it's exciting and brilliant. Now we've done one season of it. Everyone's like, okay, yeah, quite used to this. Okay, Viborg at home, yeah, good Conference League. Hopefully get some better teams soon, because you don't keep going playing Viborg FC every week. That's the sort of level we're stepping up to. No disrespect to them at all, but that's the way that most fans and probably players are thinking as well. So if we can try and at least get in the players' heads that's what the project is, getting the top 4. And tonight, both the lads have said, 3-0 and 4-0. I just hope we concede a goal for my bet's sake. But apart from that, just let's get the win. Let's get me some money in the bank, paper, and yeah.
So selfish.
I know, terrible. Cost of living, mate. Cost of living's going up. I need that money.
But you got a baby on the way as well, ain't you?
Exactly, 100%. I know.
You better whack another tenner in there, mate.
Yeah.
Jake and Budgie, if you don't mind, you can go ahead and go and enjoy the game. Thank you so much for coming on. If you haven't already, go across, check out Jake's channel, West Ham Unofficial. Hit that subscribe button, please. Great content, great vlogs. Love them. Keep them up, mate. Keep doing what you do. Budgie, Green Street Elites, go over to YouTube and check him out as well. Thank you very much, lads. Take it easy.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, Anton. Dan, Luke. See you soon.
Bye, lad.
See you later, mate.
Cheers, guys.
Bye, lad. Take care.
Dan, same questions to you, mate.
So,
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's a bit much there, mate. No one needs to see me up that close. As long as we win, mate. As long as we win tonight, that's all that matters. All I'm going to say is I hope we get to the final. So 7th of June is the final. My birthday's on the 5th, so I could have a week out in Prague, and that'd be nice. Prague.
I'm sure we have I'm sure we've spoken about Prague before.
Yeah, Prague is very nice. So yeah, that'd be.
I tell you what, actually, Dan, can you give us your stories about Prague right now on this stream?
No, it's just, I don't think you'd be able to monetize the video, my friend. I've been to Prague one too many times as well, but yeah, so yeah, that'd be nice. We get to the final. End of the day, you've got to treat this competition as a stepping stone to the Europa League. We were unlucky to miss out, weren't we, on that final last year? We've all got a taste for it. It's rose expectations though, because everyone's kind of looking at this as a very much a lesser competition now. But at the end of the day, it's still Europe, and if you win it, that's the Europa League, and you ain't got to worry about the league so much either. You have a bit of an off season, you don't finish, 5th or 6th, then it is what it is. But I don't know. I'm going to go 2-0 tonight. I reckon they're just going to sit in, and we're going to have to break them down. I'm not going to go for any wild scores because
I want us to win by wild scores. We haven't got to worry about the second leg. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be
5-1. I'm going for
5-1.
5-1.
I was going for 4-1. This is worrying me now. I can cash out at 5-1. That'll do me.
What is your bet?
I don't want to say it's overconfident, but
my bet is
should be. It should be.
Yeah, we should. we should win. What you
Seventh
by the scoreline
in the
you're saying?
Danish league last season, and we're Europa League semi-finalists. So
it's mirrored. Why am I doing that? It's mirrored, obviously. It's £10 bet. West Ham 4-1. Skamaka corner anytime, and a goal in both halves.
Very, very empty.
Does it?
That looks, especially with the white seats, that looks about half full. But genuinely, as I said, they should have closed the upper tier.
Right.
They should have closed the upper tiers. Maybe like just forced everyone further down.
But the minute they see the train strikes, they should have just done kids for quids and reduced the ticket prices.
I'm sure someone said on Twitter that clubs, like as soon as the fixture was announced, they could put in for dispensation to get it moved, like 2 days either side. So why didn't they just play it yesterday?
Is that due to the contract we've got with LLDC or whoever the hell it is makes the rules for the stadium use?
I don't know. The UEFA, they could have moved it to Wednesday or Tuesday. So
That's
if we
right,
play Sunday, you don't want to go to Tuesday, but we could have moved it to Wednesday.
So then
Like you said, make it 20 quid for adults everywhere across the ground, kids for a quid.
It just makes sense then. It just makes sense if you do that.
Guarantee you they'd have filled it out more than they have now. It looks like
it was
with the white seat.
It was empty.
Bad.
It was empty.
Yeah.
I felt it's a shame, but yeah.
It's where you've come back, so look at it like in headlights.
The travel looks. I couldn't have got there like you guys. Like
I definitely couldn't. The Great Eastern is what I'm on. So I just I could have. Kate could have taken me, but because of Littleton, it's the getting back. So it was just like one of them.
Life changes, isn't it?
Kids, mate.
And then of course you've got the tube strike tomorrow as well. So the tubes are starting earlier. So like I know Stratford's shut in at midnight. It will be shut at midnight.
And that's the
There's
trouble
no late tube tonight either.
And with the delays on the trains, imagine if you get stuck and then you can't get on. I just didn't want to take the risk, to be honest with you, and be stuck in London.
And that's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is empty.
What's the script? What? Just out of interest, lads, if you are wanting to stay on, just let me know, and we'll see where we are.
I'm going to leave now, and I might come back at some point. All right.
Right.
I'll let you know.
No worries, Lucky boy.
Okay.
Take it easy.
Bye, lads. Dan, good to see
you. And you.
Go on.
Bye.
Go on.
Just rude. Just rude. Bye. Now.
Bye, Luke.
Kicking you off now.
You what?
What is it? You're kicking him off?
I've got the players doing the handshaking now. I've got they're showing the West Ham team. Yeah.
You do the thing I put in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm basically the same time as you. So
yeah, but are you though, Matt? Because that'll drive me insane.
I've got the West Ham team on the screen at the moment, but I haven't got the sound on, so I can't give you exactly what point.
Well,
when you said they were doing handshake and doing it, I could. That's what I was at.
What are you watching on Footy Pass?
Yeah. Well, you just said it, but
yeah,
I'm getting the Viborg team now.
Yeah.
Right. So
and I know absolutely none of them players. The only guy I do know is a guy called Saeed who didn't get his visa in time. There was two players, weren't there?
Is Sorensen not their left back who is their top goal scorer this season?
I know nothing about.
That's pretty much. If you don't know much about them, then go and check out the preview that went out earlier today.
I know there was Saeed, who's the guy that scored one of the goals in the previous round.
Right, just quickly, sorry, they've got Sufal at left back.
Yeah, they have in the lineup.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I think it's a big game for Lanzini. Out of that attacking four, I think he's the guy that could be losing his place at the moment. I think if Cornet plays like we expect him to play on that left wing, I can see, because Ben Rahman's going to play Sunday, so it would not surprise me if he plays well that Ben Rahman plays in the middle if Lanzini has another stinker today.
We're just getting ready for the old kickoff. Skamaka looking like
I don't know if you saw the bit before when they done like the little, like, you know, the big flamed X, and I was like, it looked weird at this time in the season because it's still light outside.
Yeah.
Like when it's under the lights and it's dark and you get all the effects from the flame, it's like, oh, it looks that there was just like.
Do you know what? It felt weird. The City game, when we was at the City game and it was like sunny and hot, and I was like, this feels weird.
What is this?
Yeah, what is this?
Horrible.
We don't get nice weather at football.
See, that's the issue though, because I've always struggled. I've always had to learn to pack clever because I'm coming from Scotland down south, and sometimes the temperature is different by about 10 degrees. So I sometimes text you all beforehand and go, "What's the weather like tomorrow?" So I know whether or not to bring a jacket. There's been a few times I've not brought a jacket and then had to buy one.
To be fair, I did the heat. I didn't mind. For once, I could actually watch the game properly. Where I sit in the Bobby Moore.
Do you know what? Sorry, very quickly. That's the first time I've seen Rob Newman in the stands, actually, sitting right in front of.
The old Stuart Pearce was sitting there.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah, so he was. Too many focusing on
Bowen. Yeah, where I sit during the winter months is like the corner flag to the left hand side of the Bobby Moore upper. So for like the first half of every game during the winter, I can see the sun setting. I have to bring sunglasses to watch the game in the winter.
So we have kicked off. Scamacca gets the ball in the middle of the park. He plays it, tries to switch play completely, but it has been dispossessed to Viborg. We're driving forward on the centre circle. Plays a ball through. Ogbonna clears. Coventry.
Ashby is fighting
and Ashby clears it out, yeah.
Yeah, Sue Fowles playing left back.
It is so weird with all the empty white seats.
That's one of the issues, though, you've got with the colour of the seats, because when earlier in the season, when I was at Old Trafford, their seats are red, and there is a lot of empty. There is a lot of seats that are empty, not like that, but there are a lot of seats that are empty, but you don't notice it as much because they are red. Yeah. But if most of those fans decided to sit in the white seats rather than the claret seats, then it would look a bit busy.
I just never understood the thought process in making the seats white.
Because it's supposed to still keep it neutral, isn't it? To an extent, I'm guessing.
You know, at the end of the day, mate, if it weren't for us having the ground, that would be a white elephant, wouldn't it? Let's be honest.
Did anyone see the topic about the beer?
They've reduced it by 20p.
The club are now threatening to take. Yeah. It's like 20p, 10p.
Yeah.
Soft drinks didn't go down at all. They're still £5 something.
Oh, Ashby tries to play a ball round the right, but the defender's done well. Scamacca has got the ball. He switches play over to Safal, who chases the ball down on the byline. He holds it.
He don't want to keep it in, to be fair.
Yeah. Cornet, in the middle of the park, plays the ball back to Coventry.
Oh, it's a
Johnson,
very high line from West Ham.
Ogbonna tries a ball straight over the top, but the keeper comes out to collect the ball. Oh, you ready for this one, lads? You might like this. This is new. Hold on a minute. It takes a little while. It will come. Once it comes, I'm not touching it because I'm leaving it stay on. It's fucking taking ages. Hurry up.
Just set us up for nothing, haven't you? There's nothing.
No, it will come. No, it'll come. I can see it working really hard in the background, trying to come on. Viborg on the attack down the right-hand side. Plays the ball back to the midfielder, out wide. Is that played?
Jesus.
Yeah.
He's having technical difficulties.
Yeah.
So Viborg are actually holding possession on the halfway line at the moment, which is the side our West Ham now go to press. Coventry with foul ref plays.
Just so you know, there's crowd noise coming in the background. It's not what you're watching it on, it's actually on us. We've put the crowd noise in. Can you hear it now?
Not really.
Well, hold on a minute, I'll turn up a bit louder then to make sure you can.
Oh yeah, I could hear it then. I did it for a second then, yeah.
Dan, you're focusing so much on it.
Yeah, it's just that's not. You know what it is? That's not annoying when you're trying to listen to the games. You know what I mean?
Oh shit! He's like, oh no. Right, it's a corner to Viborg.
I just felt like we were in Spurs Stadium again then. Corner
to Viborg. Viborg.
West Ham's trying to mark up, it looks like. But
look at the size of us, though. I mean, look at the height. Who's the big lad they've got up top? Number 11. He's a big lad. Oh, skips over the top of the head of the Viborg.
Yeah, he looks unit, didn't he? That guy.
The number 11 is pretty tall. Who is he?
Moyes will be watching.
Epic said you forgot the clock again.
Epic, I'm not putting it on tonight because we've got guests and it's just a bloody pain in the arse to put it on.
Trying to line it up.
Because it's not that. It takes so much. Yeah. Might speak to you, Dan, about that. You might know some inside knowledge of how to do it.
What does it slow your computer down a bit?
It's fine if it's just me on and doing it.
Right, yeah.
Corney wins the ball back. It goes out for a West Ham throw-in deep in the Viborg half. Plays the throw-in early to Souček. Corney finds Lanzini in the middle of the park. Plays it back to Connor Coventry. Plays it out nice to the left. Switches play from... Who's that? Oh! Skamaka!
Oh, he missed anyway.
He's miles.
Oh, he's hit the post!
How did he miss?
Bowen's hit the post.
I mean, he's miles offside, but he was quite literally about a yard out. How did Bowen miss by, like... He must have hit the post, surely.
Skamaka's annoyed at himself there, though, because he knows he should have done better.
He should have scored.
Skamaka, is that taking a...
He hit both posts. How's that hit both posts? He was offside.
A switch play from Sefal finds Bowen. The ball lays up to Skamaka. He kind of half-arsed hit it. I don't know if it took a deflection, hit the ground. Keeper saves it. Spills it, and Bowen hits the two posts from a yard.
That sort of sums our luck up in front of goal.
Yeah, he's literally... I mean, actually, to be fair, it does a favour because he was miles offside anyway. But a yard out at the near post, he's basically Bowen, like you said, he needs that like one goal to get him going.
Yeah.
If Bowen in the form of last season would have just side-footed that straight in, because he hasn't had that goal yet, he's a bit edgy. He's tried to like hit it as hard as he can. Like, this is definitely going in. He's managed to hit the exact, even from a yard, the exact angle to hit the inside of that post, go straight across the line.
What I found weird about his performance against...
Sorry, just quickly, Dan. Epic, we are on 6, 39, 40, 41, 42, 6, 43.
Up to Bowen?
Yeah,
Bowen,
my
to the back post. Unlucky.
Bowen's performance against Forest was that usually with Bowen, even when he's having a bad game, he'd at least run and work, and he just didn't against Forest.
I think that might be something to the fact that he is a couple of weeks behind in pre-season, much like Rice, because they had the England into.
Yeah.
I think people forgot about the fact there was the Nations League, and it wasn't even like it was straight after the season finished. There was like a 2-week break, wasn't there? And then they had, was it 2.5 weeks Europa, like Nations League for no apparent reason?
Yeah, something like that, wasn't it?
I remember there was that big thing about Rice going on holiday and then missing the club shoot for the new shirt. There was a meltdown. And everyone was like, no, Rice was on holiday. He's getting selected for a week after or something. So I think maybe he's just trying to get his fitness, but was that a cross or it looked like a shot from Bowie. It looked like he just decided he was cutting inside and trying to bend that in the far corner rather than crossing.
Sefal tries to play a ball through the middle, but it's dispossessed from the Viborg striker. God, their two strikers are big lads. The two of them are. Or is that the boy in the middle?
So that's their tactic. Maybe they were playing homage to David Moyes.
Look at the size of the two lads. Well, this lad is on the ball now. The three of them are.
They're a big team, yeah.
Yeah, the three through the middle of the park, defence, central midfield, and forward, are easily 6'2", 6'3", minimum.
Which will only help them with the size of our team.
Yeah. Viborg got the ball, playing forwards, just out on the right-hand side. West Ham have got bodies back. Viborg just holding on to possession. So they'll be back now. The commentators actually just said what I was just about to say. They look pretty composed and comfortable. Viborg do.
I mean, it's that photo Russell just put in the group chat.
No.
It's about 10 rows where he's sitting at the back. He's sitting right up at the top at the back somewhere. And he's got an entire section just himself. No ticket sold. on a big breaking ball out to Ashby.
Ashby takes it on the chest, plays it back to Ben Johnson. He switches play completely. Nice ball.
I must admit, he's a ray of passing is something that's come on a lot.
It's a foul. Souček, he's dispossessed off the ball. Sufal tries to win it back, and it's a West Ham throw-in.
He's got that sort of Declan Rice big, long spraying pass, which, for the way we set up to play, getting fullbacks and wingers in behind, is something you need centre-backs to be able to do.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. What a nightmare.
Number 11, Rocks. What was that group?
Ben Johnson, centre circle. Lanzini drops deep to collect it. Switches the play over to the right-hand side to Ashby. Plays it inside to Lanzini, who drives forwards. They've got 2 or 3 Viborg men on him. They've done well to dispossess him from the ball. They're defending in numbers, aren't they?
Oh,
William Johnson.
Well played.
Oh, well done, Ben Johnson.
And then confusing.
He looks like he's tried an outside of the foot, innit?
He's played that big breaking pass about a minute earlier and thought he's turned into Kevin De Bruyne. I thought, I'm just going to bend this, banana shot round the corner for the corner. That's like your mate when he's had a pint before the game on a Sunday morning. I think it's good for a bomber to get their legs.
Unfortunately, we can't show the game on the stream. It would just close everything down, so we'll just be doing the commentary.
I'm assuming everyone's actually
on the ball.
They do, yeah.
They don't look bad, do they?
Move it well.
I mean, I guess a lot of people aren't going to be watching this game properly next week, considering it's on Premier Sport or something.
Low crossing, clearance from Ogbonna. They're big. Sorry, just quickly. They're big lads up top. Looks pretty agile as well.
And Moyes will be grabbing over to the manager at half time.
Well, he's got Newman up
there. We're literally.
How much do you want for him?
We're 12 minutes in, right? We're 12 minutes in, and it has been pretty much Viborg.
It's been a decent game.
Controlling the game, yeah.
It's been a very even game.
Sorensen on the ball, out wide left for Viborg. Plays a ball through. Lanzini's done well tracking back. And Bowen wins a free kick deep in the West Ham.
Pretty well done, doubling up.
They look more comfortable.
Yeah.
On the ball, like they're using it better.
I think they're much like us. I think they're quite happy being the counter-attacking team. We still quite haven't got that number 10 that can dictate play. Lanzini doesn't seem to be able to get a hold of the game.
Big header from Oggy. West Ham trying to just get a bit of control there. Skamaka. It's dropped deep, but he's lost the ball.
Good ball from Coventry. Let's try and keep possession.
It's back with the Viborg keeper. Cornet's done well. But it's now just
with the crowd the way it is, it feels like a pre-season game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oggy's getting right stuck in there. He looks like he's back to normal.
To be fair, I mean, I said I don't know how tall that guy is. He looks taller than a Bond. Bond's not short.
He's a big lad. He is.
He's like towering over him.
To be fair, it's probably a really good test for Oggy coming up against a guy that size as well.
Just good to have Oggy back.
Yeah.
Mr. Consistent back there.
Viborg just playing the ball around the back in the defence there, just happy to keep a hold of the possession.
As you said about the pre-season league, we're still not doing what Moyes wants in the press.
West Ham pressing now. They're still playing the ball through the back. Starting to panic a little bit, but they are dealing with it.
Now we've started pressing, yeah.
Now we're pressing. I mean, they've done well to still hold on to possession. Try the ball through the middle. Big lad on Oggy. Tries to skip by, but he's fouled.
Oh, that one looked a bit. I think Coventry's caught it, but the big man went down like a big shot.
Modern game, Matt.
Yeah, he's going to do that, isn't he?
Modern game.
Yeah, but I mean, there's going down and getting a foul, and then like I said, there's that like, I might break my leg.
You know, I hate to bring it up. Everyone was hammering the women's football, weren't they? But one thing that I will say was they were very honest, weren't they? In the challenge, they just bounced up, got on with it.
Viborg player switches play out to the left to Sorensen.
We still seem to be quite happy. Like we'll go and press for a few seconds, then we're like, oh, we'll let man the ball get. Whereas, like, I guarantee when we get the ball, they're just going to be pressing non-stop.
We've just proved if we were to press properly, we can push them back. So,
but yeah. the thing with Viborg is right that when you listen to when you look at listen, take this with a pinch of salt. What I'm trying to say here, but when we played Man City and they got the ball, if nothing was on, they played it back. Patient in their approach to going forward. I mean, they found I thought they had a bit of space down the left, but dispossessed us. But they're patient in their approach. Viborg are similar to Man City, but they're holding shitloads of possession. And if nothing's on, they're playing it back. So that's why, in theory, right now, 15 minutes into the game, they're controlling the game completely. I mean, they're playing quite nice football, if I'm being brutally honest with you.
It's a bigger game for them.
Give it away.
I know it's a big game.
I don't think Moyes can be happy right now. I don't think the passing for us is anywhere as near as sharp as he wants.
No.
Well, I know what you're saying about keeping possession, which you need to do, but you need to be decisive and snappy in your passing as well, so that you can stretch the play while keeping the possession.
Yeah. Well,
whereas we take far too long to make a single pass, and then we just throw it away. No.
Ashby seen the run from Smacker, but just could not get the ball past the defender. Coventry's done well so far.
I think the only thing that's let him down so far is the fact that a couple of times that centre forward's pulled on him to try and be the release ball out for their team when we press. And obviously Coventry's not got the size of Thatcher to compete. That's where you're missing Declan Rice, because they struggle more to get out of Declan Rice's market rather than Coventry.
First spell of the game, though, that we've held onto the ball and had a bit of possession.
You notice as well, Matt, when Deck doesn't play, you really miss that player that breaks the play up. Because he really, and the one thing I've always said, that Declan's strongest attribute is the way he anticipates the way things happen in a football game. Like he reads passes, and he's always up there, top 5 in interceptions and stuff like that every single season.
Ashby.
And you notice it when he's not playing. We really do miss that.
Skamaka, Bowen in the middle of the park. Bowen plays it out wide, finds Sefal, who's quite far up the park. Chips the ball forward, tries to find Bowen.
So there, he had I know you said about the keeping position. He had an easier option, but he could have passed it back inside, and he tried to play.
Done well there.
I mean, fair play to Viborg, the way they've played that out.
Yeah, pass around the press, he did well.
Viborg just playing the ball through the back of the defence. Howard Ailes, hope you're well, mate. Good to see you. Them are saying we're playing far too small at this rate. We're going nowhere.
That's what I said. I don't think Moyes can be happy with the fact that when we're in possession, it's quite...
Big ball through. Ariola comes out and collects it. Plays it short to Ben Johnson.
But even there, that pass from Johnson to Ashby, just doesn't mean slow. It's not in its slow as well, is it? It's slow enough that you could do it the first time pass and they're still taking 2 touches.
Lanzini out wide left. Drops it to Coventry. Sefal back to Ogbonna. Coventry under a bit of pressure. Back to Oggy. Wide to Sefal in left back position. He goes long.
This is the issue you have when you play a fullback out of position as well. He's
Yeah,
always
but
going to
that's
look
what-
to come back on that
down
right
the
foot.
line. Yeah.
Now they're on the break. Viborg back to the.
And he can't line it properly because if he uses the right foot, it will just curl towards the touchline rather than inside.
Every time. Yeah, every time.
Out the wide right now from Viborg, playing it back to the right back.
They've the first 20 minutes, they've been good.
Yep.
I think for me, the problem I've seen already is that instead of that right, is that he does have that ability to cut the ball between the centre backs until he gets going. And you think with Coventry in there, that should then become Souček's responsibility. But
And as we've seen, Souček
can't do it.
isn't
Oh, he's played on. Advantage, shoots from distance for Viborg, just goes wide.
How is that an advantage?
I think it was, mate. I think it was. Let me have a look here now.
But
Ben
we
Johnson
had
kind of plays it into Coventry.
We've had the ball. Coventry's gone to play a pass, and the guy's come from his blind side, and he's basically penalised Coventry. When you just seen the replay there, the guy went on Coventry.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, so it should be our foul, not their advantage. Is there VAR in Europa Conference League?
No, I don't think it's being used tonight. I'm not sure if it's not in the competition full stop, but I don't think it's being used tonight.
In corner struggling now, that's just poor. I don't know what you need, boys, but if you need something.
Viborg just playing the ball back. West Ham are starting to press now. Lanzini chasing the ball down. So is Cornet. And we've won it back. Souček, Sufal finds Coventry in a bit of space. He goes long. Tries to find Skamaka with the header. Goes over the top and goes out for a Viborg goal kick.
See, that's one of them balls that gets played when you're lacking ideas.
Yeah. We're too, I don't know, panicky on the ball. Everything's rough. Like you said, you've seen how composed Viborg have been, even playing out from the back. Whereas, like, we had the ball there for like a couple of seconds, and that's poor West Ham.
Driving forward now from Viborg.
Turn the pace from Ashby.
Ashby's got the pace, yeah.
Good pace from Ashby, yeah. But that was a ball along the floor from the goalkeeper, like 40 yards. No West Ham player anywhere near. Souček, that.
Here we go.
Done well. Go on, West Ham. Go on, Bowen. Oh.
Done well there, the fullback. That was risky from Souček. Poor touch from the pitch.
Safal down the left-hand side.
See, that ball was
Right
on.
foot over the top to Cornet.
Cornet, roast him.
He has. He's done round him. He's done it again. Back heel. Left over the top. Skamaka! Goal! That's exactly what he's been bought for. And it's exactly what Cornet has been bought for.
That's literally what we bought the 2 and 4.
That's ridiculous. Love it.
Get some pace.
I tell you something. When he jumps, he's up there a while, isn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He's up there a while.
He's got that hang time as well.
Yeah.
But that is literally what Moyes just bought the 2 players for. Cornet beats his man with a bit of skill. Beats him again. Stands it up.
Yeah, it's a great header.
Oh, it's unbelievable. What a cross that was as well. What an unbelievable cross. He's done the man, done the defender. What a nice ball. He'll be craving those balls, man. Craving those balls.
It's amazing when you put a left footer on the left wing, what happens?
Yeah.
Rather than and that's no disrespect to Fornals or Benrahma, but if you're going to play a 6'4" centre forward, you need someone that can cross the ball with that foot.
Credit to Safal though. He switched the ball to his right foot and played the ball over the top.
Do you know what's mad as well? I thought it had gone.
Yeah, you did.
Cornet made the run, and I thought it had gone, but no, fair play.
and out of nothing.
It's good. I tell you what, it's good to get him off the mark, though, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And that's another thing as well, and that's why it's good to play these players in these games because, find the net now.
That monkey's, that quote unquote monkey's off his back. He's not.
Macca's got the ball now. He's deep. He's got the ball. He's driving forward. Corney's made a run. Oh, it's unlucky. Thought he was going to be a little bit more greedy there.
Here we go. That's nice.
Maybe that settles a couple of players down.
Back. Bowen. Suchek. God, the thing is with that goal, you could, like you said, he stays in flight for a long time, but his height and so advantageous, isn't it?
Well, that forward defender, I don't know who was against it. You've got no chance. If you think back in the days like Peter Crouch, obviously he was a couple of inches taller, like 6'6", but Crouch couldn't jump to save his life. It was like hang time he got on that jump.
It's like the City game in particular. I was really impressed with how he was getting up and heading on and linking play up, and I know he had that header as well. He was offside for, but loads of other keepers.
Have you just seen the goal? Sorry, Luke.
No, it just took me a while to get back onto this website. I have seen the goal, obviously. Yeah, brilliant goal. Just standard basic football that we struggle to do sometimes. It's funny
the camera Maka finds Ash right side forward to Bowen. On side to Ashby, cleared from the Viborg defender.
But again, that's that from Ashby. There's that bit of pace you said about for the right back, because actually getting on beyond the fullback, which Sufal did before he had that injury. He was doing it all the time. And when he had that season, when he got all them assists, and like I said, all of a sudden that goal, and we've just seemed to calm down. But they're worried about that first goal.
Get through this, and then we got to get a result over in Brighton again, hopefully at the weekend.
Has Forest bought Malpai yet?
Well, I was saying though, when I was saying that when you do these, when I was doing these videos.
No.
Not just me, is it? He's just died.
No, he just died. What did you say?
He's dead.
Hello?
Can you hear me now? Yeah.
He's the one who generator up again.
You just cut out a little bit.
I'm not dead. I'm alive.
There you go. You're back.
I was saying in the videos recently that I've lost my point, my train of thought. What was the question you said? You just mentioned something there. Totally lost my train of thought.
No, we were just joking about Malpai hopefully not being at Brighton at the weekend.
Yeah.
That's what I was just about to say, that an opportunity now to bounce back. If we can finish the job tonight, if we can do this tonight, then to turn up on Sunday and try and beat a team we've never beaten in the Premier League, and to do that kills that voodoo.
Yeah,
and that's a positive. You're on a 2-game winning run, but of which one of those games is a team we have never beaten. Lanzini's playing forward, driving forward. Skamaka's out on the left, plays it out to Skamaka. He's definitely going to shoot. Ooh. Oh, what a save! Oh my word, Corney! Oh, was he offside?
Yeah, he's offside on the rebound.
Skamaka's shot from distance, good save from the keeper.
Yeah, but I don't mind that.
Corney was there for the spell, and
it was actually on target.
Yeah,
it wasn't an Antonio where he's outside the box and he's hit the upper stand. Yeah, he was offside, but you know what? It says on target.
It's where he shot. Look at he's gone for the corner, so the keeper's had to be full stretch at save as well.
But this is the difference as well. I don't want to sit here and slander Antonio and take anything away from what he's had to do the last couple of years. But there's the difference in having a proper striker. That's what they're paid to do. So
as I said,
the way they're going to strike the ball is so different.
Where he played 48, and that was the thing. We said this back up the second half of the season where Moyes made that mistake in not getting him in. I mean, if you saw, was it one of the pressers where Moyes said that he actually he was looking at and debating buying Skamaka in January? You think if he'd have bought him in January, we'd have finished top 6 and possibly won the Europa. you think because Antonio wouldn't have had such a brutal workload where the only other option was Yarmolenko.
Looky boy, you need to turn the old volume down, mate, on the old commentary stand. Just a bit.
Probably
Just
get
a bit.
copyrighted.
No, it's just a bit.
Done. I think
Is that bloke going
really
off?
good football today.
Who's that?
Yeah, we were just
Is that
saying
one of the
that.
defence?
Quite surprised how comfortable they are on the ball.
Yeah, very. The commentators were saying we've been playing with less. How do you want to put it?
Intensity.
Less intensity, and that's what's allowed them to play football. But I don't think that's true. I think they've just played the ball into the areas that is.
Come on,
Lions!
Scamacca scored.
Go on, Freddie.
Look. Up there. He scored a big header. 1-0 West Ham. What's his name? Tell everyone.
Scamacca.
Scamacca!
He pronounces the names better than his dad, doesn't he?
He does.
That's the future of the channel, right?
Yeah, what a thing to inherit.
He was doing
Where's my sample again?
Viborg.
Viborg.
Yeah.
Like cyborg.
Like Cyborg.
Viborg.
There's Ogbonna, look. Ogbonna, you met him recently, remember? And there's Scamacca chasing the ball.
There we go, corner.
Oh,
Have a
big
bit of
corner.
that. All from the press.
Literally out of nothing. Bit of pressing. Yeah.
That's what you need. You need to press it. Always.
A little bit of pressing.
See, come on, you're making weird noises.
Okay.
Bowen, look. Bowen on the corner for West Ham. Loggy, Suchek up in the middle. Big cross in. Oh, keeper spills a little bit. Cleared from the Viborg defender.
You lot about 5 seconds ahead of me, I think.
You what?
You lot about 5 seconds ahead of me.
I know Dan's a second ahead of me.
I
can tell by his reactions.
What you on then? And
50, 51, 52.
yeah, I'm 2 seconds ahead.
Yeah, I'm 2 seconds
I
behind.
think I'm about a second ahead.
Yeah, we'll never get it linked up properly, lads, I'm afraid.
Good night.
Come on, Lions!
Good night, everyone.
Like Fredo.
Right, on you go. Go on. See ya. Using the previous thing we used to use.
Oh,
we
he's
used to
dead
link
now.
up
He's
really.
fully done.
He's not dead, Matt. Stop saying that.
He's dead.
You've said this is a new thing for you. It's freaking me out every time you say it. He's dead. He's dead.
He's finished.
I mean, he looks it, but
Well, you know, the way they dramatise things these days, you know.
You're very black and white, aren't you, Matt? He's either dead or he's alive.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, he's the guy that went off a minute ago with a looked like a muscle strain, and he's just tried that clearance.
the back in a minute.
Whatever the niggle was, he's compounded it and finished it. It's the 24, which I don't know his name, but I know he's the right back.
I'm surprised you don't
And
know
that
who
is
he is, to be honest, Matt.
Mate, I said to him, I know nothing about this team. The only one I know is a guy called Saeed.
That
who's not even
surprises me
playing.
even more.
The guy
No,
called
d-
Saeed is one that's not playing. He didn't get a visa in time.
Do you know what, Luke? And always tells people about my knowledge with ball, and everyone's like, yeah, he knows that. And then I talk to Matt sometimes in a supporters club, and he drops stuff on me, and I'm like, fuck, do you know that?
You
How do
start
you know
dribbling.
that?
It's a bit like any Big Bang Theory fans. Matt's like the Sheldon of the of the
he
group,
is.
right? He just sit and he just listen and he just get information. He just yeah. It's I actually admire it because I do try to keep up with the information on this, and it just goes in there, and most of it stays, and some comes out. But just with Matt, everything just seems to stay in. So it's handy having Stato on side.
Yeah, but my net of knowledge only goes so far. It doesn't cover the game.
Goes plenty far, mate. Don't worry about that. Plenty far.
I know
It's-
Midfield, and that's only because that's where we got Winston Reid from.
It's one of them things you sort of think you could probably get a job with that sort of knowledge somewhere in some sort of football club. They'd be dying for that sort of knowledge. I mean, you could probably scout for them just from your bedroom. Sounds like being funny. So there's plenty of clubs in the London boroughs that are looking for someone who's a statistician.
Yeah, the thing is, we all laugh about it. Analytics is becoming a massive thing.
I don't think it's a laughable thing, mate. I think it's future.
It's becoming massive. Like Brentford, obviously.
Moneyball.
Yeah, like Brentford, obviously. Like the way they they changed the club, they rebuilt it, didn't they? Got rid of the youth academy, and then it was all analytics and numbers. Is how they they'd done the B team, and it was all based off of Michelin's model, weren't it? Is how Brentford based themselves.
Really?
Who based it off of?
Yeah, it was all literally just brought in a load of people that were like just number crunchers.
I cannot remember the baseball team name now. It was Moneyball. If you haven't seen the film, I think it's on Netflix.
But it was essentially that, weren't it, to get them to the Premier League, and it's just really smart the way they buy players.
How has that benefited Michelin then?
No, Michelin. That's how Michelin
did it. They copied it off them, and then Brentford took it off them. Like copied the way of doing things.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
So Michelin, as far as I can remember, are a pretty new club, and they become very successful very quickly as a result.
Did we not buy Winston Reid from then, or did he not play for them at some point?
We did. I mean, that was still only like 2011.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But that's where I remember having a link in my head. Is that Winston Reid either from them, or he would play for them at some point in his career?
Like, think about the fact that the Moneyball, the baseball team was like 2004-ish. It was actually the stories based on that team. So the concept's still only like just 20 years old, and it was a baseball thing, and everyone was like, "It's never going to work."
But Michelin were founded in '99.
If you read the comments, some guys just put down Oakland. If it's just a random comment.
Yeah, it's just Oakland Raiders.
That's it. Or Oakland Athletic, I think it's put down.
But yeah, Michelin, when you think about it, they're only 23 years old.
99. They're not that really.
So that's not an old club, and they're a very successful club in their country.
Yeah.
Play Champions League football,
but still pretty.
Bit like PSG, but like nowhere near the ridiculousness of that club.
But yeah, and now you look at Brentford, and they are a very capable Premier League team. I don't think second season syndrome will hit them at all.
They did actually reopen their academy.
Yeah, it might have been. I know they got rid of it, didn't they, for a while?
It's a mad stadium. Brentford Stadium's mad. And
they will not struggle.
This is how much I've become a bit of an. I know that unintentionally I've become a bit of an elitist Premier League fan. Everything just goes through my head. It's just I love lower league, but Premier League's there because when they said that Brentford got the new ground of 30,000, I think is their capacity, or around that mark, I was going, ain't that big? But I was thinking to myself, well, to them, that's a huge upgrade for what they would do. I presume it was, because that's the way it was made out. Oh, this fantastic new stadium is going to last them for years. It's 30,000. Thinking, well, Upton Park was pretty much at that stage.
But the thing is, with it, it's 30,000 capacity, but it's state of the art.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
That's the difference.
It looks strange though. It's one tier each side, isn't it?
It's mad though when you think about it. Though, Luke, like Bournemouth still playing. Was it 12,500?
Yeah.
I was about to say that. You say that's not big, but Bournemouth is tiny.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not big. I'm just saying it's
hard to get a ticket
a bit. Yeah.
Bournemouth is hard to get a ticket.
I like the fact that Bournemouth, when they first got promoted to the Premier League said your stadium's not big enough. You're either going to have to expand it, or you're going to have to play at another team's stadium to share it. And they said, no, we're not doing it. We're just going to stick it our ground. And they in the end they let them do it.
You didn't have to put 500 seats in it. It was literally, they were a little while.
Yeah, it might have been something.
Yeah, it was like literally like, I think that it might have been that it was like 11,500. They're like, no, that's too small. And they were like, well, actually, on your rules, like you said like 12,000 enough. Or like, I think it's like 12,100 or something, like 600 seats.
It's mad that you've got to have a certain capacity to be in the league. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, but I'm sure that is relevant, like all the way down the pyramid. So, like to go from non-league to League 2, you have to have a certain capacity stadium.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is like why? Why does it have to be relevant? Why is it? I know that there's more fan demand to come watch the game, but why should the sort of league go on?
That was a nice dig out.
Yeah. Go on.
But also, it is weird that you have to have a certain capacity of stadium. I don't know why.
It's more fan demand, I presume, but I don't know what that's got to do with the Premier
It
League.
affects coefficients, apparently. It affects coefficients. UEFA have got UEFA have levels in place because of safety, don't they?
Yeah, maybe that is. Yeah. No, yeah. I get that. I understand that.
Yeah, I don't know what the FAs would be, because obviously that'd be the association that would control that in the Premier League. But yeah, I know UEFA have stuff like that in place for safety reasons.
Yeah.
All interesting is the fact that I know there's teams in the Football League that don't want to get promoted. There's teams in non-league that don't want to get promoted.
I've heard that in the past. Actually,
was it last year or the year before? They interviewed one of the owners. It might have been like Weymouth or something, and he was like, "We generally can't afford to get promoted to League Two because National League you can still drink in the terrace."
Yeah.
So like National League, even like the Premier, whatever it's called, you can drink in the terrace, and they were like the amount of money we would lose by going up and limiting our sales
it's a shame.
to just
he's offside
before and during half time.
Yeah, no, it does. It can murder clubs.
Both are playing pretty well in answer to that from Clive. I think Ashby's having the better game of the two.
Ashby's 100%. That
Ashby's having a very good game.
That sprint he did to recover past the winger was like watching Fredericks, but a good non-injury prone Fredericks.
Just the importance of pace.
Yeah.
Fullback.
100%. I'm sorry, I'm putting in a minority here, but every time I see Skamaka run, he's just like an Outovich Mark II to me. Do
you know who he does remind me of? And it's very high praise, but especially with his hold-up play, really reminds me of Ibrahimovic.
Everyone's been saying. I've had a lot of reports about him.
When he's got his back to goal and he holds up and he flicks on and he moves the ball quick, he really reminds me of Ibra, and especially the heading. You know, the way he sort of hangs in the air.
Yeah,
he really reminds me
of. More West Ham related. It's only because I saw one of his goals come up on Twitter the other day. I don't know if it was like on this day or whatever. His hold-up play reminds me of Ashton.
Yeah. Oh mate, Ashton's one that I still cry about.
I cried the day he retired. 100%. I've got no shame in that. I not bawled my eyes out, but I definitely cried for him, and I was like,
that is an awful part.
Oh. Ashton's one of them that got away because of your typical West Ham bad luck. We finally had a proper striker, and that one injury completely.
Of all the players to do it, was the smallest player in the England team.
Because he was saying recently when his ankles, like he said, his ankle fused now. He literally has barely any movement in it.
He can't play football in the garden with his kids. He said that's one of the reasons why he said that he was to not end up in a wheelchair, and it was so that he could still play football in the garden with the kids, and he can't even do that now.
Yeah, he had it fused, didn't he?
It was a video on Twitter the other day. I think it was like on this day where it was like the last 2 goals Ashton scored. 2 goals against like Wigan opening day of the season.
Yeah.
And one of them, the ball's literally fired into him, and one touch on the turn, he turns like he's literally got his fired back to goal. He just spins on the spot and just arrives at the top corner.
He was Shearer 2.0 for me. Really reminded me of Alan Shearer. He just literally
I think he was technically better than Shearer, so he might have even been more.
He would have gone to the top. He wouldn't have been a West Ham player for long.
No, 100%.
You know what? I think Shearer gets slept on a little bit with his technical ability, because I think everyone remembers the last 5 years of his career more than they do the beginning when he was at Southampton and Blackburn. But when he was at Southampton, he used to breeze past people. He was really good on the ball. But I'm just showing my age.
Nothing wrong with that, mate.
To be fair, though, it just showed his adaptability as he got older, but he could still keep going.
Yeah.
Because you look at like Owen. After that injury, his like career died, didn't it?
That's just Owen relied on his pace, didn't he?
Whereas, like I said, at the end of that, Shearer wasn't slow when he started. He was never lightning quick, but like, if you go back, especially go back to like the Euro '96 stuff, he had movement on it. Whereas at the end, he was very sort of one-paced, but he still had a crappy shot.
So right now we've got Skamaka as a mix. The toes and hold-up play of Ibrahimovic. You've got the general movement for me of an Outovich. I don't know how else to put it. Di Canio, I've seen some videos where he looks with technical ability like Di Canio with the flicks and the tricks, and and the going at players.
What's she looking at? What's she getting involved?
No, she's involved. It's as if he's going to pass a message.
Is she the runner? Is that what her job is? Because it's like,
When he
She's
just get
why
on
is
the
he
blower?
sitting there? And he's got like, I haven't got, where is it? I think.
He's
Why is he sitting there like this to Kevin Nolan? And he's like, he's trying to make tactical decisions. And she's like leaning over him. Who's this person?
He's definitely gone milk 2 sugars. I'm sorry. He's got one.
And you know what? I
milk
was
2
literally thinking, I was
sugars.
like, is this tactical
Shortbread
decision? Or just
biscuits.
him and
Yeah.
Nolan looking at the half-time spread or deciding what they want to walk?
Or a £6.50 pint of Amstel from downstairs. Sickening as well.
You know what?
Apparently he has got down a
I got really excited when they put Moretti on the menu, and then it was £7.20, and I was like, I'm not excited anymore.
Is Moretti on the? Oh mate, that's sorted. I don't mind paying that. This Moretti's worth £7.
Man, no beer's worth £7 a
Yeah,
pint.
No, it's not.
2 minutes of injury time. Ironclads in response to your talking about strikers, lads.
Yep.
Chris Sutton was better, made all Shearer's goals at Blackburn and scored more goals than Shearer from open play. Take away Shearer's penalties and you can half his goals scored records.
Yeah. Chris Sutton annoys me though. Now he does in retirement.
Did you see the picture? Did you see the picture I got with him?
Yeah, I was going to ask you. It was
It's the most random thing ever. He was shocked that someone came up to him as well in London and asked him for a picture, and he was shocked that I chucked my kids at him to say, "Can I get a picture as well?"
Do you know what though? All that says, Ant, is he knows he's a bit of a prick.
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah. Oh, was that ball in? And it skipped past us. It's been by Viborg. Yeah, he is. He was nice. He was nice enough, but he's definitely smug. You can definitely tell.
Yeah, he's got a really annoying. Nah, not for me.
Void Kaiser, thanks for joining us, mate. You're new around here, of course you are. So stay safe and thank you for joining us.
Enjoy the club, mate.
Sutton is a legend and a great partnership. Toby Sampson's in the house. Where have you been, Toby? You well?
You can't hear. I'm joking.
Oh, no,
He can't talk. He can't talk to you. That's what I meant. Fuck that up.
He'll reply.
It's done, isn't it?
Yeah, fine.
So what I want to know, and I think Luke probably wants to know this as well, how do we get hold of all these shirts then, lads? Do we have to rig some competitions or something?
All these shirts?
Yeah. No, Matt's got some as well. Like,
No, this is the only one that I won, and then stopped entering
What, the Sufel one?
Yeah.
Most rigged
And then
competition.
The rest are mine. Yeah. I purchased the frames and done all that. Half time.
It looks good, mate. It's really good.
it's nice.
I'm not sure. Shut up. Seriously, just let it die. Let it die, please. Dan, do you know about this, Dan?
It's been a while. It's been a while since we've been here, mate.
I'll explain just to get it out of the way and over and done with. I was sort of hosting for I think about half an hour, months ago, probably even last year to be honest with you. And I was trying to look at the comments and trying to feed back to the comments. And just as I think Matt come on and Anton put his frame in, there was someone who said, someone called Michelle Hansen, can I get a shout out? And I didn't know when Matt was going to stop talking. Not in a horrible way, it's just he was making his point, and I thought, if I don't remember this shout out now, I'm going to feel bad. So literally, the gap in between a sentence, I literally just shouted and blurted out, Michelle Hansen. And I've never seen Anton cry with tears of laughter so much in my whole life. And it's just never died.
It's better than some of the other names you used to have back in the day, mate.
Yeah.
When you used to have your orange light.
Yeah, that was it. I've had everything on this channel. I lived a life. It's not done yet.
I've seen you grow up, mate.
Yeah, and now I've got I can never get the right lighting in any. We've moved house now, so there's no wallpaper people take piss out of. But it's just.
Yeah, I was like, where's the wallpaper gone?
Oh yes, we've moved house, mate. Unlucky, mate. The only thing we've got now is weird curtains. So, yeah.
We're getting loads of new people in the chat. Sorry, so if you are watching, thank you very much for joining us. Darren's in the house there, new viewer, Dazza from Days Out Now. So thank you very much for watching us. This is the West Ham Network. If you're looking for Premier League content, go and check out Dan Fandango's channel down below, The 12th Man.
He still calls me that, doesn't he?
Yeah, everyone does though, mate.
Yeah, I do as well, to be fair.
Everyone does.
Channel died 2.5 years ago, but
Well, we like talking about death
Lives on
right
in
now, obviously,
spirit.
because Matt's in here as well. So listen, half-time, 1-0 to West Ham over Viborg. Go around the room. Matt, give me your kind of brief summary. Well, the key word there is brief.
What did we say before the game? We've played it like a pre-season game. Viborg have probably looked the better team. They've been more composed, had a few half-decent chances. I think for the whole, the lads are getting the good run out, but a couple of players have just really, like, for me, just stunk out, like they're massively up above everyone else. But most people seem to be doing all right.
Yeah.
Souček, again, for me, just doesn't. I think if Downs was fit, if he hadn't had that knock, I'd have played Downs in commentary, and I don't think you'd see the game any different. And I think Lanzini's really sort of playing himself out of a start on Sunday at the moment.
I'm going to come on to Souček for a second here. I don't like it. Like, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying I struggle to have to kind of agree, but I am going to agree because he really does look slow in the uptake. And the more I'm looking into Vanaken, the more I'm talking about him, the more I'm scouting him, all that sort of stuff in terms of what we do, the more I'm actually understanding the link and why Moyes would want him. It's the energy, it's the athleticism, it's the progressive style of football, it's the keeping the ball. He's not gifted. I've said this earlier on in the show. He's not gifted with pace, but he's gifted with his technical ability. He can read the game really well, and I think that's something that Souček doesn't do as well. But Souček's gifted with the engine. But if this guy's gifted with that engine and the ability to read the game, then that would definitely support us. Dan, thoughts?
So I was going to make a point earlier about Souček in that. See, I don't like it when any player gets hammered, like in a way that the criticism of him is not constructive. Do you know what I mean? I just don't like that. Like, he's shit for the sake of being shit. I can't stand those sorts of comments. And
No.
I don't think any player in the team is beyond criticism. You know, even Declan Rice. I criticised Rice after the Forest game. I mean, any player is beyond it, but you've got to be constructive about it. And I think
for me,
a lot of the fan base are kind of looking at Souček now, and they're realising that now the system's changed a bit. He isn't mobile enough, and he just doesn't have the technical ability that we need him to have.
That was my point. Yeah.
And then obviously you're talking about someone like the lad who they're looking at in Belgium and Vanaken, and he's got those attributes. He might not be that quick across the ground, but at the end of the day, Souček's not quick. You know, but that technical ability. You know what? I hate to bring him up, but Payet weren't quick. But look how technical he was.
Yeah.
He danced across the pitch. You know, so like you don't necessarily have to have blistering pace to be effective on the pitch, but you do need to be technical, and you got to be mobile. You got to be able to move.
I mean, people are saying about this guy Hans Vanaken, and I know this is not a transfer show, but people are saying that he is the best player in the Belgium league. By far.
A lot of people are surprised that he hasn't got moved sooner. People are surprised he's still playing there.
Remember though, he chose to knock back West Ham previously. The reason because it was Champions League football, and I think at the time it wasn't the model that I think it looks like he's been sold on the model of what Moyes is trying to do, and he understands. Well, yeah, maybe I do fit this system, so. He stuck around the Belgium league, and I mean, fair play, it's worked for him. He's got into the Belgium national team. He has won shitloads of accolades whilst being at Club Brugge. And you're right, Dan, as well, when you mentioned earlier on that we need to stop come away from this fact that just because he's 29, 30, we can't sign him. I mean, a lot of the fan base was all for West Ham signing Jesse Lingard, who was 29, coming on 30 in the next couple of months, and paying him 150k a week. But you can still sign players who've got experience that can add.
You have to put models. You have to put models in place. You know, like Arsenal famously have a model in place that once their players reach a certain age, they only get 1 or 2 year deals. You know, they don't offer them long-term contracts at 30, 31. They get shorter deals. You know them as they go on, and that's what you do. Give him Vanaken in, give him 5-year deal, just maybe give him 2-3 years. So then you're getting him sort of in the peak, aren't you? 30, 31, 32. And then if he does start to slide off, you know, like you said it earlier, Ant, if he comes in and you get 2 really good seasons out of him, it's a good signing for the money you're going to pay.
Yeah,
because he's not going to cost the world by the looks of things. So you know, it's just about adding. It's just this team. It just needs some very technical players, and it needs a bit of pace.
Look, I wanted to answer this question here. Sorry, Dan. I can see why Moyes isn't completely convinced by Coventry and Ashby. Both look lightweight and slowing the ball, too many back passes. I want to address one thing about the back pass, though, because many a big team, many a successful team play the ball back because there's nothing on and are patient in their approach to moving forward. So I hear that. I hear that argument, but it's too easy for a fan to turn around and go, stop playing the ball back. Well, what do you want to do? Play it forward and lose it? Like, you know, you've got to be patient in it. But anyway, look, what's your thoughts on Coventry and Ashby?
No, I understand the frustration with passing it back. I understand people's frustration with it, but I've always understood it. The only time I get frustrated with myself is if I think there's an opportunity to go forward and people are choosing the safe option too much, not like Noble used to do. Noble was a classic example of that, going back rather than going forward when he doesn't need to. I must admit, I do kind of agree with Coventry in a lightweight perspective. I think the difference between me is I always like to look at a player of how comfortable they are on the pitch. And for me, Ashby looks the better of the two tonight because for me, he has been perfect. He's been comfortable in the role since he made his debut. I think personally, he's a first-team player now. That's my opinion on him. I think he looks very comfortable on the ball. He's trying to play that forward pass cross lengthways to Bowen or Skamaka every time he gets the ball, which is really, really good. I don't think he's that lightweight. He's got the pace to back it up as well. Coventry, for me, technically, I think maybe could be lightweight. I don't think he's don't get me wrong, I don't think he's the finished article. I think he's really got a future at West Ham. But he does, out of the two of them, look a bit more nervous. And sometimes it takes you a while to get rid of those nerves and start to settle down. The thing that, it's like I said earlier, I haven't been impressed with Souček in this game. You know, the few times I've seen him get the ball, his first touch is abysmal, as it has been for God knows how long now. And that sometimes doesn't help you. When you're a player like Coventry, you kind of need the support of your centre midfield partner. And if he's not getting that tonight and he's kind of being left on his own, he's going to pick the safe pass. He's going to pick the safe route to play the ball. And I can understand it. And I've seen a few comments saying Moyes needs to get a rock out the bloke so that the players ask because they're looking kind of casual. And it's almost like it's a pre-season game again. I sort of get that. Viborg, for me, have played really, really good football tonight. I didn't think they'd be playing the football they have been tonight. They'd be really taking control of the game. And in a way, it's taking us to score a goal like that to get a goal past them, and that's kind of the difference between any team. That's the technical brilliance, the technical betterment we've got over them, which is, in my opinion, going to be answer to us going through. But I think for me, Coventry is playing well enough, but he probably could be doing more. And I think he does look a bit more nervous at the two. I'd probably like to. I think if he gets a bit more support from him, if Souček hangs back a bit more and he looks a bit better on the ball, you might see a bit of Coventry tonight. But you can't always rely on your players to make yourself look better. So maybe it isn't going to be a good game tonight. But I think they're doing all right. I think the team are doing all right. This isn't going to be. I think if people have got in their heads that West Ham are going to go all gung ho and try and finish the game off 3 or 4-0 after 60 minutes, it's wrong. It's not that type of game. It's too hot. I think the heat plays a part as well. These players are going to be like, do you know what? It's Thursday night. We've got a big game against Brighton on Sunday. We're not going to be busting their gut to try and win this. Plus, you've got someone like a Bonner, who people are going to try and look after, who's going to look after himself as well. So, rant over, point made.
I mean, a lot of people in the chat are saying Moyes needs to, say the right act to the players and stick something up their arses to get them moving. Dan and Matt, doesn't matter who goes first, whoever speaks first, I suppose. What do we need to do in the second half?
Well, Hoddle was talking then about intensity and the lack of intensity, and I do agree there has been a little bit of a lack of intensity, and it took the goal to settle us down. I do think Viborg have been the better team because of the intensity they've got. But I think you get this a lot though when you make a lot of changes. You've got to look at that 11 tonight as opposed to the 11 at the weekend. That's a lot of changes to make. So that always happens, in my opinion. And you're playing a couple of youngsters as well. You're playing an Ashby and a Coventry who are maybe not used to the level. So you've got to have a bit of patience.
And new signings.
Yeah, new signings. It takes time. We live in a society where everybody wants everything instant success. Everything's got to work straight away. And unfortunately in life, it just don't work that way. A bit of patience.
Matt, would you like this? I'd love to see Antonio and Skamaka together. We need 2 more goals.
Yes and no. I think there is going to be games this season and times this season when we can play both up front. and you could essentially play, especially if Rice was playing as well. Essentially, you could literally play like a 4-2-4. You could have Bowen and Cornet on the wings, Antonio and Skamaka down the middle, and just have like a Rice and a Coventry or Downs or a Souček if he's going to sit, and just let him sit. But then we need to go and get another centre forward. That's when you need like a third. But I see people bids are coming in for him now, like Brereton Diaz at Bournemouth. Blackburn. 2 goals and an assist in 3 games this year, continuing his form from last year. Guy's still only like 23. Someone like him or someone else. If the only worry I have is that if you put both of them on at the same time and then something happens to one of them, you're then down to one centre forward again. We're back to square one. So I think.
Yep. Another 3 years.
Moyes probably also won't play, and so now we're in the league. I don't think Antonio guaranteed starters for Sunday probably now won't make an appearance. I'd imagine, unless he's decided that Skamaka's going to start, in which case maybe at 60 minutes Skamaka comes off for Antonio. Like if Antonio's still going to start Sunday, if Fornals is going to start, if Benrahma's going to start, I doubt we're going to see him.
You're on mute, mate.
Sorry, before we move on, big shout out to Clive. He says he's currently walking the entire UK coastline raising money for mind and awareness regarding men's mental health. 3 months and starting at St Austell, Cornwall, currently in Landona, Anglesey. So well done, mate. It's a huge feat you're doing. Yeah, absolutely. If you've got a link and you're doing any sponsorship or anything like that, raising money, then put it in the chat and we will raise awareness for it. So well done, mate.
Good man.
Mitch is saying not happy at all. Commentary is shocking, slowing the ball, weak as hell, needs to come off the pitch. Devon saying anyone know where to watch. Oh wait, go on. No,
I must admit, I am surprised at negativity in the comments towards the game tonight. I don't know what people were expecting. If people wanted to see a gung ho, exciting, action-packed game where we go and win 4-0 half time, it's fair enough. I can't moan at that. Everyone's got right to their own opinion, but I don't think we've played that badly. I don't really understand negativity, but then everyone's got their opinions, haven't they?
You know what? Part of the issue is though, Luke, is because no one's heard of Viborg, so they just think because I've never.
I have. No, but
no,
I know what you mean.
The point is because people haven't heard of Viborg, they just expect us to be able to walk over them sort of 4 or 5-0. But that's why I was very sort of.
Well, it's like I was saying earlier. I said people have still got the memory of Astragogo in there. They read qualifier and they think, "Oh dear, here we go again." So they think anyone now that isn't their household name is going to do us. And at least it's only 1-0 now, so people are going to go, "When's the 2-1 coming?" You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think we need a bit more intensity, and we do need to get on it a bit more. But
for anyone that doesn't know, when we were talking there about Clive, he's given us a link. I'm assuming that's either Instagram or Twitter. So check it out. Clive's Long Walk Home. It's at Clive's Long Walk Home. Look at that.
Just on that, if anyone
has just walked out, I see that.
What's that?
There goes my idea of him not playing.
What do you reckon, Lanzini?
I'd assume so because I, as I said, he was one of the 2 guys I picked out.
He was awful.
I thought in first he had an absolute stinker.
He was awful.
There's a couple of times he made good movements into space, but then some of his actual passing for Lanzini wasn't good enough at retaining possession. Like you said, sometimes you need to just not make that stupid pass over the top and rush the ball, and sometimes you need to just take a second. Yeah.
I'm going to jump through the rest of the comments quickly before we get started on the second half. Ronda and Tony Tanti, every time we play the ball through the midfield, we turn the ball over. We're going to get caught out on the counter in the second half. Fremer is saying, up until our goal, I thought Viborg were the better side. Just for anyone that doesn't know, Fornals has come on for Lanzini. DG saying, not going for the Ashby argument. Good game, rather keep possession and hit and hope. Carlos is saying, hello, Mike, so good so far. At least we've got the first goal with none against. I didn't hear who scored. Come on, you Irons, let's kick some asses. It was Skamaka. Mitch is saying nothing going on. Bowen, what's happened here with Bowen?
Light out.
Oh, it's tape. Nothing wrong with going back and keeping the ball instead of trying to throw balls into the box all the time.
No, there's not. Like, don't get me wrong. There is points when we're like, if we're like, I know what he means. Like, when you think of the times like Burnley at home last year, it's 1-1. and we were like camped in their half for the last 15 minutes, and we were just passing it sideways. You're like, someone just go wide and put a ball in the box. But when you haven't had the ball, when you finally get it, and you're on the fullback 20 yards from your own goal, and you can just turn around and pass it to keep possession or just lump it down the line, then that's when you do want to keep the ball. Because 9 times out of 10 for us, we pump it down the line aimlessly to no one, and you give the ball away again.
Well, we've started, and it's I was going to say, straight on the attack. Down the right-hand side, tries to skip by the player, tries to cross it in. Soufal's done well. Max Cornet comes back. Plays it to Soufal.
Didn't dive in.
Fornals.
Yeah, that's a lovely ball from Fornals.
Oh, it's a great ball from Fornals. We're on the attack down the right-hand side. Bowen plays it back. Corner Coventry. Plays it back to Ogbonna. It's just on the halfway line. Fornals. Looks a bit lively. Johnson. It's back with Johnson again. Ogbonna. Soufal out on the halfway line on the left-hand side. Cornet tries a one-touch, but he loses it. And Viborg now on the attack. He's got a bit of space now in the middle for Viborg, driving forwards. Still got the ball, tries the ball through. Keeper coming out. He's a bit slow in the uptake, but he does save. Areola was a bit slow in the uptake there.
I think there was a bit of lack of communication there between him and Ogbonna.
Yeah.
Because I think he thought Ogbonna was going to clear that. And I think Ogbonna thought he was coming out for it.
He gave the defender the eyes, didn't he, then? To suggest it.
There you go, Clive. No worries, mate.
Oh, was that saved it? Big save.
We are winning. Wait for the last 15 and Viborg raised the game. Darren is saying, want to see Bowen bag a goal. Hopefully we can win, kickstart the season for us. Let's be positive from John. Coventry should come off and bring Downs on. Spot on from the Cat. Patience is required, especially with a couple of youngsters.
And again, look, I don't want to sound like I'm sitting there battering Souček. It's more of a case that we said before. That the thing for me, and I said it in the chat during the Forest game. He just, when we brought him in, we needed like a destructive box-to-box guy that was going to break up the play and get in the box, right? That was 3 years ago. We now need someone that's going to get on the ball, control the play, lay it off, and Souček just isn't that. Souček isn't a technically gifted player in the slightest.
Sorry, Soufal down the left-hand side, he's driving forward, but he's dispossessed too easy. Although he does
see someone come on.
It's interesting, isn't it, Matt, that Souček came in when we were fighting relegation, and now we've moved on a few years, and we're higher up the league, and we're a more technical, adept team. He doesn't work, so you can see he had his uses, but he doesn't have his uses now.
The only way he'd still work is if Moyes tried to convert him into a Fellaini. But even then, Fellaini had a technical ability about him. Like if he tried to make him into like a utility centre forward.
See, Souček was good. Souček was good he was good for staying up, and then he was just as good when we was the season we were trying to qualify for Europe, and then it just seemed to be last season after the Euros he seemed to be too knackered to literally do anything.
The biggest problem to Souček, mate, was the minute that they gave Rice free rein.
Yeah,
the minute they let Rice roam.
Yeah, it's Rice. I don't like Rice playing that forward role.
It's easy pre-season. That probably should be a booking. To be fair,
I think I made the point with you, Luke, about when they changed Rice. I would have had no problem with Rice changing that role if he was scoring goals.
Yeah, 100%.
And providing, but his numbers were far outweighed by Souček's the season before. So for me, the change didn't make sense.
I think they just about between them. I think they just about kept between them they kept it, but like it didn't improve on Souček's numbers the season before. I think him and Souček between them kept the numbers about the same as the season before, which made no benefit, did it? It just
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I think the fact that Rice got that free role and the fact we improved as a team, we need a more technical player. Souček couldn't sit. He couldn't sit and let Rice run.
If you watch Declan Rice when he goes on his roam, he stops just before the box, the opposition box, and he doesn't know what to do with it. He decides to pass it to the wing on the left-hand side, and that's it.
I think the thing is, he's still developing. Like, I know it was disallowed, but like that goal against Forest, he actually did get his head up and picked a pass through the defence, and Benrahma was in.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It doesn't happen often enough.
But no, I think he's developing his game.
It 100% goes blank. I don't think
was it Antonio? Antonio, I don't know if it was like on his weird podcast thing he does with Callum Wilson the other day, and he said about that in training, genuinely on the ball, if Rice starts dribbling, he's like the best dribbler in the team. He's like, the ball just sticks to his feet and people can't get it off him. So I don't know if Rice is now trying to develop into a complete centre mid, box to box, rather than holding midfielder.
It end up being a box to box attacking / defensive. Basically,
but he doesn't, like you said at the moment. Maybe that's going to be the next part of his game. Is he's going to try and develop that final ball and the shot. But at the moment, for me, such a unique position in football is that holding midfielder. If you can play one of them, you know, they go for massive money these days.
That's unlucky. Pass was just a bit heavy there.
Like
through
Casemiro, even at 30. How much United going to throw at him? Well, now they're trying to throw at him.
Yep, 60 million and 400 grand a week.
Yeah, he was quoted in, I don't know if it was in Spain or whatever today, where he said that he was on net wages of about 10 million a year.
Here we go, corner. He's
Real
in.
Madrid.
Oh, he's the wrong ball.
Tried to pick up 4 nows, I think.
Ashby.
Whereas he's told everyone at Real Madrid.
Good effort.
Oh, that was unlucky from Ashby. He's told everyone at Real Madrid he's leaving. He's going to go to. He wants to deal with Man United because they're going to double his salary. So he's going to get 20 million net a year.
Oh, there's a comment in the I've just read. Skamaka is a baller, going to be another legend for us. And I really hope that's true. But the amount of times I've heard players called legends before they've even played about 2 or 3 games.
Half time we were talking about Van Aken and people saying, "Oh, it's nearly 30, he's too old," right? But when was it the other day? Was it Monday or Tuesday when Last Dance was trending all over friggin' Twitter because someone had said Payet's brother had approached the club about coming back. And then obviously it lasted for about 6 hours, and then they put, "Oh yeah, but the club aren't interested because he wants like 250 grand a week."
Yeah,
but one last dance. It's one last.
He needs that to pay for his Greg's bill by the size of geezer. He's got a massive.
But
I see a photo of him
up until the point the wages come out, because I was under the impression it'd always be north of 100 grand a week. It wasn't going to come back for less than that.
Yeah.
But everyone was up for signing a 35-year-old, according to French news, overweight Payet. Apparently that's why he hasn't played it this season, because even Marseille are like, "You're overweight. Like, we piled on the pounds in the summer. You're not up to stand to play."
No.
So we're prepared to go and get him in, but then a nearly 30-year-old guy who scored last year for Belgium, got 4 goals and 5 assists for the national team.
Oh, that's terrible.
No, we don't want him because he's nearly 30.
I was very surprised at how many people wanted to take Payet back.
Same here.
Don't get me wrong.
It's a nostalgia thing for me.
Yeah, but
if he was in shape and it was about 100 grand a week, I would have taken him back. Like, you said, like on a 1-2 year contract.
Why would you take him back?
Because he still created the most chances in.
Oh, don't
French
care,
League.
mate. Have some pride in yourself. Come on, man. The geezer's just a complete snake. Anyone who wants to take him back.
That was part of the reason he wanted to come back. He's admitted that he didn't like the way it ended. I mean, he's the one that created the way it ended.
No, it's not. It's a load of waffle. Honestly, it's because he won't get paid that much money from Marseille. He's not playing for Marseille right now.
Yeah,
he's looking for an easy route.
He's not like they've said to him, "We're not paying you because you're not playing." He still gets paid, doesn't he?
I don't care. The geezer ain't coming back. Any West Ham.
No, he's not. He's not. And I wouldn't want him back
because
he's not doing
but I'm not having it. I'll stand outside that fucking ground and I'll protest until I can't speak anymore because. I am bitter. I'm a combination of bitter, but also I don't want to.
Put it this way, right?
Payet is the reason I don't fall in love with players anymore.
I mean, it is, right.
And Outovich as well.
As I was about to say, right? So people all over like last year about bringing an Outovich. For me, I would actually but for me, I'd actually rather have Payet than an Outovich. even at this point in time. Because Payet, for one, had the personal thing, got whoever pregnant and his wife like, you need to come back to France. But he also knew that he could see that they weren't going to invest money in the team at the time. So, I might as well go back to France. At least I'm,
It's the way you
and he
lead.
did. And he threw his tours out of pram and went. But at least it was, he threw his family and he knew that Golden Sullivan weren't going to splash the money out, which they didn't.
There we go.
Arnautovic went because he went to go and win trophies in China for 400 grand a week.
Cuts it back. Poor ball.
That's a better ball. Although we haven't got a left footer out there, so
Let's
not a bad header.
Big Tommy Sue.
Good. That's all.
He's one outstanding piece of talent, and yet he still managed to miss from like 2 yards on Sunday.
That's better from Coventry, the press there.
Yeah. This is the problem, though. Like, we press a little bit, and then we're like,
you got to follow it up. You got to follow it up, haven't you?
You go 4 nails. Oh, I don't know. He didn't look like a good landing. He might just knock the wind out of himself. He got up over the player and then just, landed on his chest. He might have knocked the wind out of himself.
Has anyone seen the video of Cornell's try and pie a mash for the first time? He didn't like it until he had vinegar, and I realised I've never had pie mash vinegar, and I'm gonna have to start adding it. I know. Honestly, I've swore that honestly, it's just been liquor pie mash and liquor for me, and never had vinegar. I'm not a vinegar man. Even
don't get me wrong, it's still nice, Luke, but it's just mate, add some vinegar, chili vinegar in particular. Just
chili vinegar.
Oh yeah, do chili. Any good pie mash will get chili vinegar. Yeah.
Right. We sort of do a couple now. So
yeah, it's power. Just add a little something to it.
Triple, mate. That's what I have. Can't go wrong. Unless they've run out of pie mash or pies. But yeah, vinegars. All right, vinegars on the list, to-do list, definitely. I'm going there Sunday, so don't get rid of one.
That bit of play there, right? Ashby played it into Souček. Now, a technical player would have just been on half turn and just gone into midfield with it. Souček just played it straight back to him when he was already marked and he had no option but to start chip it down the line. That's where you probably missed like a Declan Rice.
I've got to go back and catch in your face there, Dan, because...
Well, mate, it's the first thing I do. It hits the deck and then the vinegar straight on, a little bit of pepper. Nice. I have pie mash before every match day.
You still got to be tradition in it. You've got to do it.
Yeah, I skip the pub now. I don't go to the pub before the game. I go for a pie mash instead.
Check the pie mash.
What pub do you go to? Just let the whole channel know.
I just go to my pie and mash in Chelmsford and then into the game, and then I might go to the pub after.
If you
I've stopped drinking.
He's not spending a bit of pint in the stadium.
I used to go in the Carpenters if I could, and I think last season put me off because I think I went to a couple of Europa League games, got there really early, even about talking 4 or 5 o'clock. There was queues to get in the Carpenters, and that was at the water house before the game. And I don't know if it's still as popular now. It was just because of those particular games, but yeah, but
I did notice it was very different on the European nights.
Yeah, could be to do with it, to be fair.
Just dropping in, look.
So I had to turn my background music off because it was annoying everyone, and now Anton's come on, and because he owns the channel, he can do whatever he likes.
He's got crowd noise. He's basically nicked it from Spurs Stadium and in the airway.
Ref's actually got a bit of background.
How about he was saying you've got to have vinegar?
Yeah, no, fair enough. I've been told now, so I Times will do the deed on Sunday.
You're not alone though, Luke. My mum, all the years I've been going pie and mash with my mum, she don't put vinegar on it either. She always looked at me like I was a nutter. And then she did it for the first time a couple of months ago and she was like, "Oh, that's nice, that is." Changed her life.
She's been learned.
Cool, blimey, son. I like that.
Here's one for the comments. Who has or knows someone that has gravy instead of liquor?
Oh, we all know someone.
I know someone. I know. So
You don't admit it. You don't talk.
Oh, it's a foul through. Oh, defender's done well.
Offside.
That's unlucky. I think Fornals has made a bit of a difference in the second half. Yeah. He's
Is
actually
this the season he's going to get his goal?
Oh, 2 foul. Well, he's only allowed to get one. He's got to keep up the Zabaleta tradition. Just get one goal.
He needs to up his crossing game for me. Also, foul. I love him to bits, but he's going to
see, I gave him last season off because he had that injury and it was a bit tough.
Yeah.
But I'd like to hope he can get back to it this year.
Yeah, he's not the same.
What did he have the first season? Was it 9 assists? Was it?
Yeah, well, did him and Creswell get like 20? Like it was like 15, 16 assists between them. It was quite high.
Big clearance from Johnson for a throw in from Viborg. Anyway, lads, does anyone know the attendance tonight?
I don't know the official attendance.
It was more than you. I definitely think it's not as empty as you lot said it was earlier.
I think to be fair, I did read this morning. They reckon it's about 30,000, 35,000. But don't forget.
See, I bought a ticket and then found out about the train strike.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't forget that I bought a ticket. And
you get the point, didn't you?
I was going to say, do you get the point?
Yeah.
Even for this playoff?
Yeah.
I know fans are so addicted to the points. It's like, I'm willing to buy a ticket and not travel.
The reason why people are addicted to the points now, Ant, is because you need so many of them for the European away days.
No, I know, mate. It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's annoying.
You need so many of them.
You need so many for the normal away days, never mind European.
Well, the issue
over the top.
The issue I have.
He's empty. He's empty. Fornals is empty. It's too late.
The issue I have with the normal ones, Luke, is I literally apply for every single ballot and I never win. But I literally jump on every ballot, and the only one I got last season was Newcastle.
I've said this to you before, mate. There's so many, right? And I'm not like all of them. Like all the ticket groups that are right there. Oh, unlucky.
The bad balls. Yeah.
I feed, in theory, we feed them. In theory, because we want to go to the game, so people get the points. It's easy for them to sell on tickets. It's just this frustrating. And as much as you want to build up your points and get access to tickets, you can't. It's until the fan base stop buying tickets off other people there's when that's going to change. But it's
so I've said to myself this season, I'm not buying them off the ticket group.
Yeah.
Unless I can get them myself, I'm not doing it this year. So based on last season, I'll probably save myself a fair chunk of change this season.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a fair system that the club have got? It's based on points.
I think I do. I don't have any problem with the system. I think the where the system's flawed though.
Bowen.
Oh, good. What a goal!
He shoots. What a goal!
Good goal.
30 yards out. Was that 30 yards out?
25, 30 yards. Yeah. Of course, it was twice. There wasn't really much going on. He's just
my word. He smashed.
So yeah, like I was saying, where the system's flawed.
Hold on a minute. Where is it?
The thing for me is the bomb.
Ready?
That's what proves it. So like,
no, where it's flawed is that those that can get a ticket, like Ant said, they buy the ticket up even if they're not going to go because they know it's easy to move it on.
Yeah,
so they're still getting the points, don't they? You know, like for instance, some of the lads we all know that go, like Wiggy, Mark, they've all got away season tickets, so they get the tickets and just.
I was about to say it's bad goalkeeper. That is literally right in the bottom corner.
Like Pete was saying last season,
25 yards out,
64 points,
and he is literally drilled that in the bottom corner.
64 points. Last season.
Wow.
And you look at it and you're like, how's that fair? But it's because he has the ability, because the points are there, and he just replenishes them season on season. And like you're saying as well, Matt, the bondholders, they get first dibs, don't they?
Yeah. So like when you've only got...
Sorry, quickly. Bowen's collected the ball about 35 yards out, whatever, driven forward and smashed it with his left foot and found the bottom right-hand corner. Keeper could have got... No keeper would have got that.
Here we go.
Oh,
There we go.
Carrera's coming on. Antonio's
Is that
coming
Oko
on.
Flex?
No, Carrera.
So Correa got signed yesterday, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I
Signed
thought.
in enough time to come on.
That's mad.
So we're getting it looks like a triple substitution
Antonio's
from
coming
West
on.
Ham.
See,
Why bring Antonio?
Is there a 5-sub rule in this competition?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I think we're
So
making like a triple sub. I
it
think
looks
that
like
second goal's now gone to Moyes.
It's
players.
Scamacca's coming off, Cornet's coming off, and Ogbonna is coming off. Carrera is coming on for Oggy.
Oggy coming off makes sense.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, because he's had an hour of running, and you don't want to overexert him on his building
No,
back to
I don't
fitness.
know, complete sense.
What I would say
Ramos,
about
yeah.
Scamacca and
Benny is
it
coming
Bowen?
on for Bowen.
and Antonio's coming for Scamacca.
Bowen looks a little bit pissed off, but he's fine. Calm
He's
down.
probably thinking he's just got to go, wants to carry on playing. But I think Moyes' opinion now, I think if Scamacca
Do you know
and
what
Bowen
it
are
is?
both being subbed off,
I think
I would say that means they're starting Sunday. For me,
Can-
personally.
Can I tell you what you do? Right, I don't blame him for doing this. He's taking Bowen off. He's bringing Benny on. I mean, look at this is something we've been calling for. Look at that. There's a nice little bit of strength.
Yeah,
Got
you can actually
Antonio.
bring someone still
Now
half decent on.
now we're bringing Antonio on.
See,
Yeah,
for
so
me-
it's not half decent. You can still bring a decent sub on for him rather than.
for me now, they've both scored. They should both be shoo-ins for Sunday.
Well, this is what I think. I think because we've now gone 2-0 up, he's now protecting them both and going, no, you know.
But that's the point. That's sort of the point I was trying to make earlier. In that the people are moaning about the strength in depth, but the quality of player we've brought in is far stronger than it was last season. So in
Lads,
time,
just always quickly say hi to my niece. That's my niece.
hello.
Hey. Sorry, Dan. Let me go.
It's fine. I sort of made the point anyway.
Like you said, it is a fact that we're not bringing off Bowen with 25 minutes to go to bring on Yarmolenko. No,
there we go.
Yarmolenko.
Anthony has gravy. Doesn't matter what you, Anthony. Come on.
Does he
Bowen,
like it?
Scamacca, and Ogbonna. Let's have a look at. I'm intrigued to see what Carrera's like now.
So Cornet's gone over to the right.
Yep. Oh, he
And
skipped by the
there
player.
we go.
He's driving forward.
That's
Oh,
a
ref,
booking.
he's been pulled down.
Oh,
he's already got.
oh.
It does give you an option, does it? Because I mean, in theory, if you try to look at the players, probably no one needs to back up the Bowen at the moment. So Cornet can play over that side as well.
It's mad.
And Moyes does like a player cutting in on their other foot, doesn't it?
Couple of things I was going to point out, right? First of all, do we any of us think, or would any of us like to see or think that any point in the season that Scamacca and Antonio will play up front at the same time?
I don't think he'll risk it unless he really has to, because if one gets injured, then
Yeah, we spoke.
Well, that's if he doesn't sign another forward.
yeah,
This
there
is
is
what
that.
I said. And
There is that.
we did Brisbane.
There is
I
a
think
player
maybe
you
weren't
need to
in
keep
the
your eye
chat
on.
when we spoke about
The
it.
player.
And I did say that. That's exactly what I said.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a deadline day one.
Yeah.
If he's still there, deadline day.
The question is though, can you do? I don't know what the situation is. You can't loan two players from one domestic from one club, can you?
No.
So the two. It's a goal.
Oh,
2-1.
Stu foul. That is poor.
Fucking hell. God.
You can't do anything
Looks
like
bets
that.
on though.
I mean, I don't know what's happened there. Is he just literally jumped all over Safal to score
It's
that
just
goal?
that, it's
Yeah.
just that jump him. He's smaller than
He's that jumped.
But I mean, it's not great.
But Viborg goes straight back down there and get one back.
My 4-1's going on, boys. My 4-1's on for the call.
Moyes looks absolutely
Livid.
enraging.
It's
So the ball's been driven through the middle, out wide to the left. Big cross in.
Suchek cannot be out jumped there. Oh, it wasn't. It was
Sufal.
Sufal.
No, Stu foul.
Stu
Stu
foul,
foul.
yeah. But he just doesn't jump, does he? He doesn't get off the floor.
Is it in there as well, isn't he?
Like, what's
I think
Kayra supposed to do
he's
there?
too
He's got a
busy.
giant all over him.
He's too busy. Sufal's staring at here because the guy's trying to climb over him to score. And
That
Sufal
unfortunately
behind him just
for
doesn't jump. He
Viborg.
thinks he's going to get the ball.
That unfortunately for Viborg is exactly what they want. To ball coming through. Tries a back heel. The Carrera's dealt with it. Ben
West
Johnson
Ham
on the
now need
right
to not
played it
panic
straight to them.
and get control of the ball again because like now this West Ham would start panicking.
It's a bad ball, since.
Never easy being a West Ham fan.
We'll win it 2-1, Dan, can't there? I know what you mean. Squeaky bums.
Well, it's just when you get one back, though, the impetus is with you, isn't it?
Yeah. It's momentum now. Is it away goal? No, away goals. No, they got rid of that.
Yeah, they got rid of it.
Got rid of it, didn't they?
But wide, to be fair. But then you lot are 5 seconds ahead of me, so I think I might have to just break you lot to
20 minutes to go.
Big 20 minutes.
Free kick for Viborg, 30 yards out on the left, big ball in. Ariola comes out and collects.
Well commanded from Ariola.
Just as a side note as well, the second one I was going to ask you, it seems strange to me that we're strengthening well, with strength in depth, good quality players this season when we were in a bigger competition in the Europa League last season and didn't seem to invest in the same way.
Maybe it's just the money earned. That's what maybe I
don't know if it is that, mate. I mean,
but Krasinski wasn't part of it right at the beginning of last season, was it?
That's a good point.
But
yeah.
The but is though, you've got to remember. I mean, are we saying we don't believe Moyes then? Because what he's been saying is,
Moyes openly said there was money there, but he didn't want to spend it in January.
Didn't want to spend it
because he just didn't want to buy for the sake of
buying.
In
January,
in the summer.
Yeah, but even in the summer and January counted because we were progressing well and we needed recruits.
Yeah,
as a fan, we needed recruits. He was like,
I know it counted, but what I'm saying is that the big one for everyone to strengthen, every team to strengthen, is the summer. And that was, we knew that we were going to go straight into the group stages as well. There was no qualifiers involved. So it just seems a bit strange to me that we've taken this season a bit more gung-ho with signings-wise compared to last season. But that's just...
Maybe Moyes has been saving it in the bank for a big splurge.
Maybe he's learned. Maybe he's learned his lessons.
But
Newman couldn't do his job until
there is that as well.
End of the summer last year, either.
Yeah.
Something else we need to remember is, it's nice that Nottingham Forest are signing 16 players, but how's that going to work out? How's that going to pan out? It's exciting for a Nottingham Forest fan, but does that mean it's going to pan out well? It doesn't necessarily mean that.
How do you keep all them new signings happy, though? Do you know what I mean? You can only play 11.
Rotation.
Yeah,
Steve
that
Cooper.
don't.
He's got to be a rotation king, Steve Cooper, this season.
The thing is that I think they're now like the second or third highest spenders in the league.
In the world.
I didn't know this. I found out from an Ipswich mate of mine, right, that I think Ipswich had a big. They got taken over by a consortium, I think it was, and they got a load of cash last season.
Sorry,
that's right.
Come on, man.
And they started buying players. Quite free. But there's almost like the big boys, the big spenders of League One last season, whatever it was. And I didn't realise that a lot of League One clubs, a lot of football league clubs, pretty much have a new team every season because there's so many outgoings and so many incomings, and a lot of players don't sign big contracts down lower leagues. They
can't afford it.
Yeah, no, I didn't realise that.
Yeah. Also, they obviously fill up a lot of their squad with loans from other teams.
Yeah,
big team.
Yeah, there is that as well.
But you look at Forest. So it's either going to be absolutely genius, or it could be like they've done a Fulham the other year.
They've got no one.
But it's not even like a Fulham though, mate. They've gone so big. I mean, that signing today, 40 million quid or whatever it is. I think it was you, Dan. Was it one of you, Dan? You put it on your tweet. It's like, I don't know if it was you or was it.
Yeah, so
as a party, and he said
basically the full package is 44 million, and if you would have spent another 7, you'd have got Haaland.
Yeah. Ridiculous. Don't forget Wolves. Last night or this morning they announced the signing of Nunes, who we were obviously linked with, for 42 million, and they just basically recouped the entire amount. Someone said, I think they've bought.
They got a player plus 500,000, didn't they?
But I'm sorry, right? Howard, I don't know if this is in relation to the Nottingham Forest signing players, etc. The thing is, right, under Pellegrini, we bought 7 or 8 quite quickly, and the majority didn't work out.
First year in this ground, no.
Yeah, but Nottingham Forest have done it in a manner, in my opinion, that there really. Is there any players really left in that squad that helped them get to where they got to last year? That's a team
but
that beat Premier League teams last year.
But at the same time, this is what I said earlier, is that Nottingham Forest were basically fighting relegation after 8 games. So in many ways, it wasn't like they started the season bulldozing and winning all the games and looking favourites of promotion. They had to be rescued from like.
What a save from Areola, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't very safe, but they rescued. So maybe those players weren't good enough anyway. They were only good just about got through the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Sorry, Viborg just had a shot about 25 yards out, smashed through the middle. Good save from Areola. Maybe one for the cameras, but still a save.
That's good save.
The same fairness to Forest. I didn't realise because when I was doing the look up the preview of the Forest is that they'd lost 12 players this summer.
Yeah, but they weren't.
Players.
A lot of them weren't starters. The loan players were.
If you've only got a squad of 24, 25 players and you lose half your squad,
but
you've still got to replace that half the squad.
It still seems excessive though to spend the level of money they have on 16 players that are all going to want first team football when you can only play 11. Like, I'm not being funny. They've just brought in Morgan Gibbs-White. He plays in the same position as Lingard.
Yeah,
but Lingard ain't ever, was he?
But
it does raise
made
a
big deal out of it though, didn't they?
If they bring in the other 2 lads, Aware and Mapai.
Oh, he's not going now. He's they reckon he might be off to Palace.
Well, but if he did, then they've got him, Dennis, Lingard. You know what I mean? They've got Johnson, Savoni.
It should work. The thing is, the only thing they got worried about is dressing room upset, because is it going to really disrupt what's left of the previous team? Because I mean, that game against us, I think 2 of the defenders started against us. There's like 9 new players in that team. And they were wide open. And on another day, another team would put a lot of goals.
Corney gets a ball through to Fornals after the deflection. Fornals down the right-hand side, cuts back. He finds Conor Coventry. Plays the ball back to centre circle to Kerrer. Nice ball from him down to the left to Benny.
Lovely.
Benny skips by the one player on the edge of the box. Keeps got it. Oh, Antonio!
Gets in there.
Tell you what, he's the one player that has actually started the season well, and I can't believe I'm saying that because how much I slated him last year. Ben Rama is actually.
Why did Moyes look angry? I don't think
Moyes is forgiving the ball.
So, Luke, you've got 4-1 goals in both halves.
Like, Ben Rama literally done his actual job. What's Moyes always moaned about Ben Rama? His final ball. He's absolutely skinned that fullback, got down to the byline, and picked Antonio out.
Lads, I'm telling you something now, right? With 13 minutes to go, Cornet has set up a goal, Ben Rama has set up a goal, Antonio has scored, and Scamacca has scored.
And Bowen scored.
And Bowen has scored. What have you got there, Luke? What do you
just
need?
Needs Cornet goal.
Yeah.
He needs a Cornet goal.
Make it 4-1, yeah.
How much do you win?
560 quid. For a £10 bet. And he's definitely going to take Cornet off. He's going to do me like that. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, Cornet's doing the old back heels.
Yeah, come on, son.
The next
I've not done it. I'm going to get in trouble. Here we go. Sorry. This is for the goal that's just been scored. Cheesy's that.
This is going to torture me now for the next 10 minutes. Oh, this is not a fight. Playing with the emotions.
Big ball in from Viborg, from right to left. Big switch. Sorensen's on the ball. Is it Sorensen? No, it's not.
I think, Dan, you made a good point to start the game, because I think we've looked a lot better in the second half before, and I was playing in number 10. In fairness, you said, no, play in there.
I would honestly save the money you're going to spend on a 10 and use it and buy a new centre mid. We've all noticed our poor Suchek.
Conor Gallagher.
Or a left back.
We need left back. I think we do need a left back, but you know, if you're listening to what
what I would say is that if you're talking about Coventry and Ashby, I think Ashby's had probably a lot better game. I don't know if that's because of what Coventry's had around him.
To be honest, though, Matt, I think Coventry's just kind of done his job properly, tonight. He's been the better player between him and Suchek, so
yeah. But But I was going to say that, we're worried about a left back. At least, you could play Johnson there as a backup and play Ashley on the other side.
There's a comment from Howard Ailes saying, I've just texted Billy McKinley to keep Conne on. Thank you very much for your effort, but the signal at the London Stadium is beyond terrible, so I doubt he's got it anyway.
Oh, so, yeah, it's absolutely.
Oh, here we go. Luke moaning about that signal again.
When it the game last weekend, and I commented some stuff before the game. Was it the Man City game?
Don't use me phone.
And I put a message in the chat, and then you literally messaged at half time, mate. It's literally just come through. It's that bad signal.
Shocking in there.
But I literally get no signal in that.
I just send up smoke signals when I'm in there, so people can find me.
Unless you know the password for the VIP Wi-Fi, which I don't know if anyone does know.
There's a lot of things they say you're not allowed in the ground, and people manage to do it, mate.
Yeah. But only the away fans, though. Home fans.
Well, I mean, that's a bit boring now, isn't it? It's killed off that bit of atmosphere. The home fans and the away fans.
That's the weirdest thing, isn't it? That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Right. That is one of the things. Benny? That's one of the main things of football. Is that colonialism of rivalry.
Benny down the left. Please, Ensifal down the left. Big cross into the back post to Corney. Oh, he saved it. Oh, it's an overhead kick from Corney.
Luke was on for his bet there. The bet was done.
It's not. The football gods did not want me to get this money.
Ensifal stood the ball up to the far post. Corney with the overhead kick, and it's carried away by the goalkeeper.
It's not happening.
I ain't being funny. Imagine that goes in. That's his first goal. It'll be an unbelievable goal. Benny's made all the difference since he come on. He really has made a big difference.
You think, literally, when about 2 weeks ago, he was on that list alongside Vlasic for being sold.
It's amazing.
Antonio skips by the player down the left-hand side.
That's it.
Oh, he's
and if you believe the papers today, that performance at the weekend's now said, no, he's not going anywhere. Which I was probably right to start.
Here we go. Downs is going to come on by the looks of things. Oh, he ain't going to get long.
Surely you could have given him...
Didn't realise it was the 82nd minute. It's flown by the second half.
I was about to say, surely you could give him more than 8 minutes.
Short corner, Benny, cross in. Doesn't beat the first man.
I at least hope it's Suchek comes off. So we can at least get 10 minutes of them.
Corner's coming off, man. But the guarantee
it'd be a Coventry, wouldn't it?
Just because
shut down again. We've run the ball back again. Corner again on the ball.
There we go. Or not.
Back heel, Safal wins a corner.
Tell you what, if Benny plays like this for the rest of the season, we've got a player on our hands there. But he started last season well, didn't he?
Yeah, he
did. But then we started flip-flopping between him and Lanzini. No one really was able to get a run of games, were they?
Lanzini should be nothing but a last 10 minutes player.
I thought last season he was making that sort of comeback in team. It looked like he started doing stuff again, and then
the trouble
we've got with
Lanzini, and something we've always had, even when he was, mustered before the injuries, is he's not physical.
Yeah, kind of Coventry's off.
For that.
Fair play, Coventry. Fair play, son.
That's mental that Suchek is going to play the full 90.
Yeah, and then he's going to start him for the full 90 against Brighton on Sunday. Yeah. I know it's early season, but we said about rotation, and it's rotation for keeping freshness. And something's going on here. He's not allowed to be wrong, is he, Rick? I was telling the centre back off. He was literally just staring at Antonio rather than Antonio was looking at the ball.
Taking it short. Benrahma. Fornals. Centrally. Downs.
Wide to Fornals again. Further wide to Benrahma.
Is it?
Nothing wrong with that.
tell you
There we
what,
go.
he's done well there, correct.
Cornet running it back
Cornet.
now.
Antonio's made the run. Cornet still got it.
West Ham just slowing the game down now. 3-1 up. Don't need to risk now, do we?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Only if Cornet gets on the ball, we need to risk it. He has. I'll tell you what. He has actually made a massive difference in the second half. Fornals playing in that middle. Not just his passing ability; it's the mobility.
Told you, lads,
Well,
I'm not just a pretty face. I know things.
You do sometimes get it right, and you're right again.
I know things. Oh, for goodness sake, Johnson.
Like you said, I think it's Lanzini's things letting him down this season. It does seem to be the mobility.
The thing is, to play that role, you don't necessarily need to be the fastest player on the pitch either, because you're using your technique and your ability to pass. So,
yeah, you know, like you said with Souček, Souček's not the fastest, but he's running stats every season, like year on year, is still he's still up there at the top. Like he's always around the top 3 or 4 players.
I feel like they've made a lot more changes than 5.
Yeah, it does seem like that, doesn't it? Because we've made 4, we got 1 left potentially, but yeah.
Saving that, Luke, for the 90th minute. Take Cornet off, and I
hate this.
Apparently this is their 5. Apparently they made 1 in the first half.
Have we made
question? Sorry, question from our Nails.
We've made 5. Yeah, we have made 5.
He seems okay. He got
Dan, over to you, mate. How's career? And then
yeah, he seems all right. He got a little bit bullied for the goal, but
to be fair, I mean he's 6'1". That bloke's like 6'5".
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It was like.
And the thing is, he got bullied, but he wasn't the one that really lost the goal, because Souček basically didn't gamble on Kahir losing the ball. He basically gambled that he was going to win the header.
He looks tidy.
Soufal just stood there ball watching. Funny enough, though, he didn't look out of place there in that position, Soufal, because that was like a mirror image of what Creswell normally does.
He learned from the best.
That reaction. Yeah, Soufal just got bullied, didn't he? They both did, in fairness. But then again, that was like our first goal. Skamaka just bullied that centre back and put it in top goal. And you can do it, you know. Antonio was it his first season at West Ham when he got like all them headers? He got like 8 headers in a row or something, didn't he? And it was all literally pretty much pulling on the fullback. So if you can always get that or the clearance from Johnson.
Cornet's made a big difference.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's played the full. I'm surprised he's played the full 90 because of. I don't know. The trouble is,
he didn't play did he? So it's probably the fitness thing.
And it's a difficult one because it's as he played himself into the weekend when Benny's come on and made a big difference as well. So it's hard.
I think
it's a nice headache that Moyes has got, but
yeah, I think. As I said to you, that's a big ball. Adam's falling behind again. Needs to get that wheel going, dial it up. I said at the start, didn't I? And I think I'm right in the fact that I said you had that front 4. You had 3 guys that had a chance to play their way in, and there was 1 guy that could have played his way out. I think he did. I don't think Lanzini played his way into the starting 11 Sunday at all. I think Moyes is going to be ecstatic because both his centre forwards scored. Bowen got off the score sheet as well. Cornet got an assist. Benrahma got an assist.
Yeah.
Fornals has come along and made the midfield look mobile. So yeah, I mean, for once, you know, first time in about 3 years, we've got a nice headache where we've got attackers that are looking a bit sharper. And it gives you options. Cornet, well done.
Easy free kick to buy that.
It's just a question of, I'm guessing at this point we've got no chance of getting the left back in before midday time.
No. It'll be
Apparently, we
Creswell.
were talking to left backs today. Apparently, I believe
What names
Bruins.
were mentioned?
Only the names that were previously mentioned, which were the names previously mentioned was one of Thomas, Leicester, Jacobs,
Yeah.
Monaco, Ronaldo, and Sousa. And obviously, with Man City having brought in the what's his name from Anderlecht, does open it up a bit again for us to possibly get one of them. I must admit, I'd be tempted with one of the, but Sousa, Grimaldo, or Jack, purely because
Grimaldo's the one I'd have. I'd have Grimaldo all day long.
It's weird. I was going to say it's weird because for me personally, I would say the other three are all better right now than Luke Thomas.
Yeah, they are. I've got a Leicester pal who said Luke Thomas is good going forward, but defensively he's very, very poor.
I know one, and he said he basically said that he's a prospect, and if Moyes can get him defend, like can train him to defend, he can be good. But he's very.
But he'd be
the most expensive one because of the English tax.
Yeah. My pal was saying though, for now he's not the one.
We just need to keep our heads here because we don't want to concede a goal late on.
You've got Jacobs of Monaco, who's got the same agent as Kahir we just brought in. So you've got that thing going again. Can't believe Grimaldo's still on the table.
I can't. I thought he'd have been nailed on to go to a top 6-7 club.
Yeah. Someone should have picked him up by now.
I thought he was going to be one at City.
Leaves the door open.
Get rid of it, West Ham. Get rid of it. Big ball over the top. Safal deals with it.
He's done well. He's done better that time, Safal, dealing with the ball over to the back stick. Poor clearance, though, Safal.
Yeah, just giving the ball back. There we go. That's all right. Keep up.
That was very well played by the
Lay on it. Johnson's had
read the ball.
Johnson's had a pretty good game tonight.
Again,
for anyone who wants to know, we're going to be going live straight after this. Who is joining me? Anyone want to join me or
not me, buddy? I'm afraid.
Possibly quick, but my headphones are dying. So yeah.
No, that's fine. I can go solo. Don't you worry about that.
I'll join you.
Oh, did you look? I never heard you, mate. That's fine.
So we got what? 20 seconds left.
Lost 560 quid. At least you could do is be nice to me.
Hey, mate, closer than I've come in a long time on a bet.
I'm getting so unlucky with bets. Honestly, I get so unlucky with them. Always one out of everything.
Thinking about bets, Man United are only like 25-1 to get relegated at the moment. I'm chuck a 10 on it.
Oh,
there we go. Job done. Full time.
Job done, everyone.
3-1.
There you go. 3-1 West Ham. Take that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yep.
That's good. I'm dole out. Well,
right. Look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the link in the private chat just now because there's no way I can do it from the phone. So if you look in the private chat, you will see the link to join. Matt, you close this off. I'll go live. Thanks for joining me, Dan. Look, and everyone, Matt, I'll leave this to you and I'll go and start the other stream. See you in a minute. Ciao.
Ciao, boys. Dan, good talking to you.
And you.
Good seeing you, Matt. Thank you, bud. Good night, boys. Up the Irish.
Bye.
So that has been Match Day Live Watch Along. West Ham have won 3-1. Job done. Through to the next round. Normally Ant would leave me the link in chat, but he hasn't. Anyone that wants to watch the review, anyone that come halfway through, not sure, missed some of the game, drop out of here. You'll get a notification any second. Drop back in, hit review. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button if you're new. Hit the like button. Get your comments in after. We'll still try and interact. We'll love doing it. West Ham win. West Ham's season finally up and running. Everyone got goals that needed. Everyone got assists that were needed. Positive one grab for a goal. Positive result, but win's a win. Season's up and running. As always. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to become a member, I believe there's a link down below. And come on, you Irons.